Well, a massive political war has broken out after the BJP MLA Ramesh Jarkiholi released an alleged tape of Congress leader DK Shivakumar showing off his wealth. Now, Jarkiholi has also alleged that DK Shivakumar is seen blackmailing IS officers by holding their audio and video recordings for getting his work done. An FIR. Meanwhile, when he was confronted, DK Shivakumar refuted all these allegations.
In poll-bound Karnataka, a big political fight is now brewing, this time over tapes. The BJP has released a tape alleging that Karnataka Congress chief is showing off his wealth. The BJP claims it has evidence that will be submitted to the probing agencies.
ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ 120 ಗಂಟೆ ನಂತರ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಅದು CBI ಮತ್ತು CBI ಮುಂದೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಝಲಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಮೇಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಂಡು ಹಾರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನು ಧೈರ್ಯದಿಂದ ಅವನ ತಲೆ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಝಲಕ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಒಂದು ಆಡಿಯೋವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು CD ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಬಹಿರಂಗಪಡಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಚಲೋ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವರ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಇದ್ದ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
Facing the allegations is none but Karnataka Congress chief DK Shivakumar, who ran out of answers and cried foul when Republic confronted him.
But I feel that more or less it is an election budget.
Sir, just need one small clarification, sir. There has been a massive allegation by Ramesh Jarkiholi. What do you want to say, sir? Why are these allegations being made?
I don't want to see. They are frustrated. Okay. The BJP is frustrated.
Okay.
They are losing their
base. So what is that audio clip that he's released, sir? Is that your audio clip, sir?
I don't know. If anything is, sir, let them prove themselves.
Will you be filing a defamation case against him, sir?
Wading into controversy, Chief Minister Bommai said that law will take its own course.
ರಮೇಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಅವರು ನಿನ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆನೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ. ಇದ್ರು ನಿಜ. ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಆ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ಏನು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇನು ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಬರಲಿ. ಬಂದಾಗ ಲಾ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಕಾನೂನು ತನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
And Karnataka Home Minister assured strict action.
ನನಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ. ಏನು CBIಗೆ ಕೊಡುವ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾರ್ದು ತೇಜೋವಧೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ CDಗಳನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ಕೈಗೆ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಹಾಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾರ್ದು ಮುಖಾಮುಲಾಜು ನೋಡ್ದೇನೆ ಪೊಲೀಸು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಖಂಡಿತ ನನಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
And as the race for Karnataka heats up, the tape controversy has come as the latest in the BJP versus Congress face-off. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
You're watching Republic TV. On the other side, in Gurugram, a car hits and drags a bike for nearly 4 kilometers.
Everything we know is at risk. The time to act is now. We must all be champions. Champions for the earth.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
at the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud.
at the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
just to get you more details about the opposition's attack on the government. Now, we have seen the session being washed out yesterday. Today also we are told that there is going to be a crucial opposition meeting that takes place at about 10 o'clock. Now, do remember that both houses of parliament have been adjourned till about 11 o'clock this morning. Yesterday, of course, the opposition tried to corner the government over the Adani issue as well as various other issues, including the BBC documentary, asking the government why it has been banned. Right now, we are told that the opposition parties will be meeting yet again at 10 o'clock this morning, and largely the focus is going to be on how the opposition plans to essentially corner the government over the Adani issue. Let's go across to Anuj, who's reporting from New Delhi on this. Anuj, good morning. Anuj, yesterday, of course, we saw how, the opposition essentially was not willing to go back on its demands as far as the Adani issue is concerned. Give us a sense of what we are expecting today.
कदम उठाना, क्या करना और किस ढंग से आगे बढ़ना, ये सारी चीजें आज के मीटिंग में सुबह जो हम 10 बजे बुलाए हैं उसमें तय हो जाएगा। फिर उसके बाद अगले का कदम हम बताएंगे।
सर, कल भी आपकी तरफ से नोटिस दिया गया था लेकिन डिस्कशन नहीं हो पाया। सर, क्या
नहीं, नोटिस तो देना रूल्स के मुताबिक हम देते हैं, लेकिन डिस्कशन को आने के बाद ही आगे के क्या कदम वो लोग उठाएंगे या हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा उस वक्त ही मालूम होगा।
सर भद्रावती ये
सर आप लोग कैसे करने लगते हैं 3 लोग के
Well, that was the reaction of Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress leader, LOP, and he was stating it clearly that they are going to continue with their protest. They are going to continue with what we have seen yesterday also. If we talk about yesterday, then we have seen the ruckus in both the houses, and both the houses were adjourned. And let me also tell you that at 10 a.m. this is going to be another important meeting of the opposition party, where they are going to discuss about the future course of action and their strategy. But they continue with their demand. They are saying that they want discussion first. No address, no vote of thanks, but first the discussion should be done. That's something what has been stated very much categorically, clearly by Mallikarjun Kharge also. And we have been told that this is going to be the opposition parties, the like-minded parties, who are again going to hold a meeting at 10 a.m. in the parliament itself, where they are going to continue with their demand, where they are going to decide what exactly is going to be the future course of action, where they are going to talk about the strategy. And that is something what we are expecting in both the houses today also in the parliament, that the ruckus is expected. And as we have seen after the budget was presented, we have seen it continuously what has been witnessed in both the houses of the parliament. So this is going to continue. That's something what we are expecting today also. Let's wait and watch what exactly is going to come out from this particular meeting, which is obviously scheduled at 10 a.m. in the parliament itself. We are reporting from right outside Sanjay Singh residence. We are trying to get a word from Sanjay Singh also. But let me tell you that the opposition parties have already started reaching over there. We have been told this is going to be TMC, this is going to be Aam Aadmi Party, this is going to be Congress Party, and the like-minded party, including the parties in the opposition. So they are going to hold this particular meeting. They want discussion on Adani issue. That's something what has been stated. That is something what is the agenda of this opposition meeting. So what is expected today in the parliament is what we have seen yesterday also, and the ruckus which was witnessed yesterday also in both the houses. So we are just waiting what exactly is going to happen when it is going to start at 11. But since from the very morning when it is start, we have seen it yesterday also, it was ruckus which was witnessed, and this is something what we are expecting today also. Yes, back to you.
All right. So Anuj, of course, is bringing us the latest on this. We are expecting the opposition parties to meet at 10 o'clock and decide how they want to go forward as far as today's strategy is concerned. You are with Republic TV. On the other side, bringing you more news, including as the Hindenburg reports fall out, Adani Enterprises shares continue to tumble in the stock markets. In Gurugram, a car hits and drags a bike for about 4 kilometers. Suspect is yet to be nabbed.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shala, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shala has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under-19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital. They are showing you the visual. The players are here. first official of Kashmir we can see the tricolor flag here, the proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the
A look at the top international news this morning. South Korea and the US have conducted combined air drills over the Yellow Sea. The United States flew bombers and fighter jets alongside South Korean fighters. The US is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over the US airspace for a couple of days, but the Pentagon has decided not to shoot it down due to risk of harm for people on the ground. The discovery of the balloon puts a further strain on US-China relations at a time of heightened tensions. Protesters took to the streets of the Peruvian city of Cusco a day after the Congress rejected a bill for early elections. The demonstrators were continuing with their demand over the resignation of the President Dina Boluarte and the chance to vote for a new government. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted off the Cape Canaveral in Florida. SpaceX is in a statement said that the rocket carried 53 satellites for the Starlink internet system. SpaceX later confirmed on Twitter that the satellites had been deployed in low Earth orbit. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has met with the French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris. The Israeli leader is also due to meet with business leaders and members of France's Jewish community during a trip that has angered Palestinian supporters amid a new spasm of violence in the Middle East. This is Republic TV, and more news coming up next, including the opposition creates an uproar over the Adani issue, demands a probe. All eyes are on Parliament. Peshawar bomber responsible for deaths of over 100 people is caught on CCTV.
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket Kalash Vishal of Kashmir Chopra Shilpa Sarawat we can see the tricolor flag here, the proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shala, which is a
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
The Heidelberg report fallout. Adani Enterprises shares continue to tumble after the FPO is called off. The opposition creates an uproar over the issue, demands a probe. All eyes are on Parliament today. The Finance Minister briefs the BJP MPs for both houses ahead of the BJP budget outreach program. SpaceX launches 53 Starlink internet satellites into orbit. And the Peshawar bomber responsible for the deaths of over 100 people is caught on CCTV. All right, cutting across to news that we are just getting right now. We are now learning that there has been a drone that has been shot down by alert BSF troops on the intervening night of the 2nd and 3rd. That's last night, I assume. This took place at the early hours at 2:30 a.m. We are told that this was a Pakistani drone which had intruded in the area near the rear Kakar area of Amritsar sector. These pictures that we are getting to you are of this drone that has been intercepted and brought down by alert BSF troops. Let's go across to Amandeep, who has more details on this. Amandeep, good morning. Tell us more.
Well, absolutely. This is another Nupur bit of Pakistani intrusion that has been foiled by the BSF. A Pakistani drone, in fact, was spotted nearby the international border when this drone has crossed the international border and entered into the Indian airspace. And in fact, Pakistan has sent a consignment of drugs along with this drone, and even the BSF troops who were on alert, they have detected the sortie of the drone and immediately started opening fire on this. And visuals on our screen is that the drone that was shot down, and in fact having a capacity almost 25 kg to carry the consignment, and in fact the consignment of the drugs has also been recovered from the drone, just because the drone was shot down in the Amritsar sector nearby the international border by the BSF troops. After they have detected a sortie of the drones, after hearing the sound of the drone entering into the Indian space, they have targeted and pinpointed the drone location and sharing the coordinates with the local police to search out the area. During the search, they have recovered the drone also, and even the consignment of drugs also. So another bit of the Pakistan has been foiled by the BSF after shooting down another drone, and even more than 35 drones has been shot down. And in fact, if you talk about this year, almost 3 to 5 drones has been gunned down by the BSF at the international border. There are different locations in Punjab itself, just because Punjab is turning to be the pivotal point of the drugs for the Pakistani drug smugglers, and in fact BSF is turning to be more alert on the international borders. And resulting to Nupur is very much evident that how after every single day a Pakistani drone was shot down, a drug consignment was recovered by the BSF nearby the international border. But they are dragging this investigation to the further point and now trying to break down the chain of the drug smugglers who are actually receiving these drugs consignment on the Indian soil as well. And the extensive search is going on in the villages nearby the international border, and in fact try to find out the connection of the Pakistani drug smugglers and even try to detect their chain on the Indian side as well. But you can see the visuals also that search is still on by the BSF troops, just because this is just one consignment that has been recovered by the BSF after shooting this drone, and there's possibility this drone might carry another consignment that drops somewhere else. Yes, Nidhi.
All right. So as Amandeep is pointing out, we are given to understand that the BSF troops have managed to foil this bid. Amandeep, thank you very much for joining us and bringing to us all those details. And going across to Srinagar right now, where we are told that the State Investigation Agency is carrying out raids in multiple locations. This is in connection with the terror funding case. Now, do remember that the State Investigation Agency has been conducting an investigation on over the terror funding case for a while now. Zeenat is joining us live from Srinagar on this. Zeenat, good morning. Zeenat, this has been a long-winding investigation that has been carried out in the valley for a while now. Give us the latest details.
See, Nupur, these are the raids that are being done, being carried by the SI State Investigating Agency, and the case is registered with the agency as far as the terror funding in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. And today the raids were witnessed in the uptown of Srinagar, like the areas Barzula, similarly Natipura and also Jawarnagar. We are picking from the sources that some of the Hurriyat supporters too are being raided by the SI State Investigating Agency. More a crackdown on the terror in the Jammu and Kashmir. We have been seeing that many Hurriyat leaders were arrested by the NIA, and similarly the SI is investigating those people who are supporting the terror network in Jammu and Kashmir. Recently, we have witnessed an action coming from NIA when Hurriyat headquarters, APSC headquarters was attacked after the court orders were for it. So again, the SIA investigation is on as far as the terror-related activities in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, and as of now, the 5 places are being raided by the NIA. We are picking some incriminated material along with the laptops and mobile phones to have been recovered by the State Investigating Agency. Earlier, we have seen the raids in the South Kashmir's Kazigund, Kulgam, and also Avantipora and Anantnag, and similarly, the raids were also carried by the agency in Kupwara and also in Baramulla. Srinagar has witnessed many raids for the last 1.5 years because this is the case related to terror funding in Jammu and Kashmir, for which the investigating agency is investigating for the last more than 1 year now.
Absolutely. As we are pointing out, of course, the investigating agencies have been looking at all the links in this case for a while now. But give us also the wider conspiracy that the SIA is looking at.
See, there have been the people who have been supporting terrorism by getting the funds from different channels, whether it was the Hawala money that was pumped to fund terrorism or recruit the youngsters into the terror ranks, or we have been seeing the transportation of the weapon or the logistics being provided to the terror groups in Jammu and Kashmir, for which Kashmir police chief has always been quite vocal about that he is trying to take the oxygen out from these terror outfits. And we have seen an action also from the Jammu and Kashmir police where more than 762 OGWs were arrested in 2022 alone, and many of them were slapped with the PSA and other acts. So we are seeing the crackdown, full-fledged crackdown on the Hurriyat supporters and also those who are supporting terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Yesterday there was a press conference of the DGP J&K police where he completely mentioned the plot of sinister plot of Pakistan funding terrorism in Jammu also, because we are seeing many encounters in Jammu and also the kind of IED attacks were carried by the Pak's-based terror outfits or the people who were staying in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to instigate violence in Jammu and Kashmir. So a lot of action is being done by the J&K police and also the state investigating agencies or NIA, the National Investigating Agency, as far as taking the terror out from J&K.
All right, Zenith, of course, is continuing to bring us the latest on this. Even as we speak, multi-location raids are currently on in various parts of Srinagar. This is linked to the terror funding case that the SIA is looking at. As Zenith was pointing out, the Jammu and Kashmir police's main focus has been on routing terror from the state completely. Now, Zenith, as you were pointing out, of course, the main focus has been to make sure that Jammu and Kashmir can become terror-free. Now, to this end, is the police very confident that the strategies that they have employed are being, have essentially been met with success?
See, Nupur, we have seen a major success to the security forces as far as taking the terror out from the Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. If you will just take the figures post abrogation of the Article 370, we have not seen any stone pelting incident reported in Jammu and Kashmir the way it used to be earlier, or the way there used to be the crowd gathering at when there used to be a funeral of the terrorists. That has completely been stopped now because the dead bodies are not being provided to the family members, because Kashmir police chief has made it quite clear that whosoever will pick up gun, either he has to return to the mainstream or the dead body will go to his home, and the body will not be returned as far as the funeral process is concerned, but a decent funeral is given by the administration whenever any terrorist is neutralized. Seeing the figures for the last 3 years, we are seeing 552 terrorists neutralized only in the Kashmir Valley, be it from the Jaish, LET, Hizb, or we talk about the Ansar Ghazwatul Hind. As far as the OGW network is concerned, yes, 762 were only arrested in 2022. So a lot of action is coming as far as coming from the police and other investigating agencies. As far as the raids are concerned, of today's, we are seeing the SIA is being assisted by J&K police along with CRPF as far as the raids in the 5 areas of the Srinagar street is concerned today.
All right, Zenith bringing us all those details. Thank you very much for joining us. So, Zenith, of course, is bringing us the latest on these multi-location raids that are being carried out in Srinagar. News in brief. A man has been arrested for dragging a motorcycle by his speeding car for more than 4 kilometers, ignoring attempts by other commuters to stop his vehicle in Gurugram in Haryana. The car hit the motorcycle parked along the road, as a result of which two-wheeler got stuck in the undercarriage. A fire broke out in the yet-to-be-inaugurated Secretariat building in Hyderabad. No casualties have been reported in the incident. More than 10 fire tenders reached the spot and doused the flames. In a mega crackdown on child marriage offenders, Assam police has arrested over 200 people. This comes as part of the initiative of the state to curb the practice of child marriage. A 2019 structural audit of the Civic Run KM Hospital in Mumbai has found that as many as 6 wards were in the need of structural repairs but no work has been taken up yet. Patients, doctors and medical staff have been functioning in the hospital in these conditions in the past few years. Adani Enterprises is set to be removed from the Dow Jones Sustainability Indices effective prior to the opening on Tuesday, 7th of February. This comes 2 days after Adani Enterprises withdrew their FPO. Tripura's Chief Minister Manik Saha held a door-to-door campaign in the state's capital Agartala ahead of the assembly elections, which are scheduled to be held on the 16th of February. Well, we are cutting across to pictures that we are now getting of opposition parties holding a meeting prior to what happens in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha today. Now, do remember that opposition parties have been trying to confront the government over the Adani issue. In fact, the opposition parties have jointly demanded action from the government's side in terms of either having an all-party delegation probing what happened with Adani Group or asking for a Supreme Court monitored probe into issues that have been raised by the Heidelberg short-selling company report on the Adani Group. Let's go across to Anuj, who's reporting on this. Anuj, we are of course seeing these pictures of opposition parties meeting ahead of the session of Parliament. But yesterday we saw opposition parties being pretty firm in terms of the demands they have over the report that has come out on the Adani Group.
Well, this is something what we are expecting today also because this is the meeting. The visuals we are getting is from the parliament and the opposition party leaders are meeting at this point in time when we are talking in the parliament itself. Yesterday also we have seen the same kind of meeting which happened in the parliament, and later it was the media briefing which happened at the Vijay Chowk right outside the parliament. What we are expecting today is again the ruckus in both the houses. That is something what we have witnessed yesterday also. The demand is very much clear of the opposition parties. We have listened the reaction of Mallikarjun Kharge coming in. We have listened the reaction of Sanjay Singh coming in. The line which has been taken is very much clear that they want discussion on the Adani issue. That is the priority. None other than that. That is going to be the business. And there we have seen the several notices which has been given by the opposition leader, including Sanjay Singh and the other opposition leader of the opposition party. So again, this is the meeting which is underway at this point in time in the parliament, and they are discussing about the strategy. They are discussing about the future course of action, that what exactly is going to happen next. And today what we are expecting is the repetition of the same what we have witnessed yesterday. It was from the first hour when it started at 11 a.m. and again it is going to start at 11 a.m. when we are talking about both the houses. We have seen the ruckus, and that is something what we are expecting today also. Just to wait and watch how it is going to pan out. But ruckus is something what we are expecting today also, and we have seen how both the houses were adjourned and the parliament is not able to work. We have seen the same kind of ruckus, the same kind of uproar in the parliament, in the monsoon session, in the winter session, and that is something what we are witnessing in the budget session also. So there is to wait and watch what exactly is going to happen next. But the meeting of opposition leader is underway in the parliament itself. Yes, back to you.
Right, absolutely. So as Anuj is pointing out, opposition parties are very firm in terms of the demands that they expect to be met by the government. Yesterday, of course, Anuj, we saw the government saying that there needs to be no discussion on this issue. But do you think there might be a rethink on it?
Well, this is something which we have to wait and watch, that what exactly is going to be the strategy of the government, because there is a discussion which has happened among the top brasses of the government and the speaker, that how it is going to pan out, because continuously what we are seeing is uproar in the parliament and the parliament is not able to work. So this is something what we are expecting. But on the other hand, when it has been made in very much clear, and they are also very straight about the things, when the government is making it clear that what exactly has to happen and how it has to happen, that is why the government is not discussing at this point in time. The BJP is not discussing the issue at this point in time. They want the proceeding to be it should be in the procedure how it happened. That is something, the line which has been taken by the government. But on the other hand, continuously opposition parties are firm with their decision. They are continuously saying that they are going to protest against the same. They want their demand to be fulfilled. They want the discussion on the Adani issue first. Then this is going to be the proceeding in the parliament in both the houses, which is going to happen. And this is something what we are expecting today also, that this is going to be fully uproar in both the houses, whether being it the upper house or the lower house of the parliament. Yes, back to you.
All right. So Anuj, of course, continuing to bring us the latest in terms of what we're expecting in both houses of parliament. Thank you, Anuj, for joining us. Well, an Air India flight that was bound from Calicut to Abu Dhabi caught fire after the left engine caught fire after takeoff. Now, the flight did declare a full emergency. It returned back to Abu Dhabi and landed safely. The latest that we are getting is that this plane was essentially carrying 184 passengers on board. However, all passengers and crew are believed to be safe. Air India has issued a statement saying that this incident occurred when the flight was taking off from Abu Dhabi. Harsha has got details of this one. Let's go across on the phone line. Harsha, tell us more.
Exactly, now we are getting to know that this Air India Express flight B737 was to go from Calicut to Abu Dhabi, and in the mid-air, after reaching 1,000 feet above the ground, it realized that the engine has got flames and it has to return mid-air. Now there was a technical glitch, and all the passengers are safe, and now it's been seen how the passengers could be accommodated into the another flight which has to go from Calicut to Abu Dhabi. But BBC has ordered a detailed probe into this entire incident, because what we are learning is that this is not the first incident which has happened in the Air India Express flight. It was on January 23 also when a Trivandrum-based flight got a technical glitch on the airlines, and it had to return back to Trivandrum. So back to back, there are several incidents which have been reported in the Air India Express flight. And let's talk about this flight. This is a small feature plane which was supposed to go in the early morning hours from Calicut to Abu Dhabi, and now we are realizing that there were many technical glitches in the front engine, in the engine number 1 of this Air India Express flight, and all passengers are safe. They have been taken back on the ground. The flight is returned back to Calicut. It has not taken from Calicut to Abu Dhabi now, and another flight of passengers is being seen. But the BBC has ordered detailed probe in the entire incident, because back-to-back coming into the Air India Express flight, and the BBC has also sought explanation from the failure management system of the Air India Express, that what were the reasons that before took-off the airline was not checked properly, that it got the flames, there was a technical glitch, what was lacking on the side of the crew members on the side of the Air India Express flight, that this issue came up. The flight, after going 1,000 feet above, after taking off 1,000 feet above, they realized that there was a mid-air flame, and the flight turned back and landed back to the base network. That's it.
All right, Harsha, thank you for joining us with those details. So as Harsha is pointing out, we are given to understand that all crew and passengers on this flight were safe, and the flight went back to Calicut from where it had taken off. This is an Air India flight from Calicut to Abu Dhabi. The incident took place earlier this morning. Air India has also issued a statement saying that there was a technical snag, after which a fire seemed to have broken out in one of the engines. Now, the construction work of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya is in full swing. We are told that 2 Shaligram stones that have been brought from Nepal were installed, and of course the process took place under full traditional rites that take place.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million-year-old Shaligram stones brought straight from Nepal to Ayodhya. Hundreds of devotees gathered in Ayodhya to have a glimpse.
ये जो नेपाल से शालिग्राम आई है शिला, ये मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जब भविष्य में मंदिर बनेगा तो मैं फिर से दर्शन करने आऊंगी।
ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम लोगों के लिए। मैंने
ज़िंदगी में एक आदमी जो अपनी सबसे बड़ी खुशी पाता है वो हम लोगों के लिए सबसे बड़ी खुशी है। हम लोगों ने तुरंत प्रोग्राम बनाया कि हम लोग चलना चाहिए अयोध्या। तो हमारी पूरी टीम के साथ हम लोग बेंगलोर से अयोध्या आए हैं शालिग्राम जी के दर्शन करने, और बहुत बड़ी खुशी की बात है। हमारी ज़िंदगी का सबसे बड़ा जो मकसद था वो पूरा होता हुआ देख रहा हूँ मैं।
Priests and devotees decorated Shaligram with garlands and offered their prayers. Shaligram stone holds a very special place in Hindu faith as it is a representation of Lord Vishnu. The Shaligram will now be handed over to Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust and will be used in the making of Ram and Janki idols. What makes Shaligram even more special is that it's found only on the river banks of Kali Gandaki river.
40 ton has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki, which are expected to be placed in main temple of Ram Mandir. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Weighing 23 tons and 14 tons, both the boulders were brought to Ayodhya on heavy-duty trucks from Nepal's Janakpur, the birthplace of goddess Sita. Nepal Congress leader and former Deputy Prime Minister Bimalendra Nidhi, who hails from Janakpur, coordinated with the Janki temple to send the Shaligrams from Kali Gandaki river to Ayodhya. The Nepal leader said that the Janki temple would later send a bow to Ram temple in Ayodhya. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Beginning from 9th February 2023, India will host a bilateral service of the Australia Tour of India 2023. India versus Australia ODI. The first test match between India and Australia will take place in Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur city. The only tour game, according to Smith, in their previous tour was played on a green top, which did not help the squad prepare for the kind of pitches they went on to face. The last Test series won by Australian team in India was nearly 20 years ago. Both teams will be playing 4 Test matches in Nagpur, Delhi, Dharamshala and Ahmedabad for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As the much-awaited 4-match Border Gavaskar Trophy starts on 9th, all eyes are back on the pitch. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Coming up next, we get you the latest on the Hindenburg report's fallout on Adani Group. And the Finance Minister briefs the BJP MPs from both houses on the budget outreach program.
Everything we know, everything we love is at risk. The time to act is now. We must all be champions. Champions for sustainability. Champions for the earth.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital. Delhi are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Pashmi Chopra. We can see the tricolour tricolor flag here, the proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they
Good morning, you're watching Live and Breaking on Republic. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Lots lined up for you, the top stories as well as the news breaks. Starting first with the top headlines this Friday morning. Hindenburg report fallout. Adani Enterprises shares continue to tank after FPO called off. Opposition creates uproar over Adani issue, demands probe. All eyes on Parliament today. Finance Minister briefs BJP MPs from both houses ahead of as part of BJP's budget outreach program. SpaceX launches 53 Starlink internet satellites into orbit. Peshawar bomber responsible for deaths of over 100 caught on CCTV. Alright, we start with the news break coming in from J&K, this one from Srinagar, where we're given to understand that multi-location raids are taking place in several areas of Srinagar by the State Investigation Agency. Now, this is in connection with a terror funding case. The first visuals on your screens of the SI raids, which are underway at several locations in J&K's Srinagar as we speak. Zeenat getting us those details and those details from Srinagar. Zeenat, if you can take it away, take us through all those details of the multi-location raids which are underway in Srinagar by the SI.
Samiksha, these are the multiple raids being carried by the SIA in the Srinagar district. With the visuals we are beaming are from the Paramporia area of Srinagar, where the raids are being done, carried by the SIA, as this is the case related to terror funding in the Srinagar. And also this case was registered by NIA last year. We have seen the raids in Barzala, Natipora, similarly in Jawaharnagar and other places. The multiple raids are on, and NIA is trying to investigate the terror funding, because as per the NIA, the money that used to be pumped for terror related activities in Jammu and Kashmir, they are trying to unearth that this very terror funding scam, and many people have been arrested in past also, and the raids were also witnessed in the recent past in the south as well as in North Kashmir. Once again, the NIA raids are back in the Kashmir Valley. This time, more of the raids are taking place in Srinagar. Many people were questioned. I have been arrested as per the sources within the SIA. Incriminated materials and also some electronic gadgets have been recovered as of the raids are on. As far as the raids in the Barzala area are concerned, some Hurriyat supporter has been raided by the SI, State Investigating Agency. This is one of the sister concern agency that deal with the terror cases in the Jammu and Kashmir, and this team is being assisted by the J&K police along with CRPF.
All right, Zina, thank you for taking us through those details. So continuously putting out those details and those visuals coming in from J&K's Srinagar, where the multi-location raids are taking place by the State Investigation Agency. Now, this is in connection with the terror funding cases Zenith was telling us. So back-to-back raids taking place as crackdown on terror continues in the J&K Valley. All right, and just to give a recap to our viewers also who are just tuning in, the first visuals that we are getting from J&K's Srinagar, where multi-location raids are taking place by the State Investigation Agency. The raids are in connection with the terror funding case and these raids are taking place at several locations, not just one, in J&K's Srinagar. And a quick roundup of news and brief from across the globe. South Korea and the US conducted combined air drills over the Yellow Sea. The United States flew bombers and fighter jets alongside South Korean fighters. US meanwhile is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over US airspace for a couple of days, but the Pentagon decided not to shoot it down due to risks of harm for people on the ground. Officials, the discovery of the balloon puts a further strain on US-China relations at a time of heightened tensions. Meanwhile, protesters took to streets of Peruvian city of Cusco a day after Congress rejected a bill for early elections. The demonstrators were continuing to demand the resignation of president and a chance to vote for a new government. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Cape Canaveral in Florida. SpaceX in a statement said that the rocket carried 53 satellites with a Starlink internet system. SpaceX later confirmed on Twitter that the satellites had been deployed in low Earth orbit. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris. The Israeli leader is also due to meet with business leaders and members of France's Jewish community during a trip that has angered Palestinian supporters amid a new wave of violence in the Middle East. And continuing with news from across the globe, Iraq is now reeling from currency crunch with a drop in the value of its currency and public anger that has only been mounting against the Prime Minister.
For months, the United States has restricted Iraq's access to its own dollars, trying to stamp out what Iraqi officials describe as rampant money laundering that benefits Iran and Syria. The exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar has jumped.
وسانی حوالا امروز تأثیری زوز زق و دیاری بس بالنسبة لتاجر وديار ناتوانين حوالا بكين بولا بروي راجيراوا دويني ام وقتها قلاب الصوت 64000 دينار بو يوارك داخله بالصوت 64000 وربع بو امرو بكرنوي قال على بازار دولار كان بصوت 77000 ام تقييم حساب جناب كان 77600 بو 77000 حساب من جاي هديه كان.
In Baghdad, exchange houses were closed on Thursday while the Kurdistan regional government banned exchange companies in Suleimania from making transfers.
اما برنامه ما باتو بو همو موسیقیانی آلوگوری دیداو كجوايا اما إن كان راقرين يعني حوالا نامين هيج موسیقی هیچ کمپانیا گوینیه هیچ کمپانیا هیچ موسیقی گوینیه که حوالا صرف كات بوناو بودرو العراق اما براسي يعني بيشاتكاني بيودي على اسنجي زور دروسكا بو هاولاتي بو بازرگانكان چونکە ئەوەی کە کاتی خۆی لە ڕێی چاتەوە لە ڕێی موبایلەوە لە ڕێی واتساپێکەوە لە ڕێی تیلیگرامێکەوە تۆ چەندێک مەبلەغێکی زۆر و خەیاڵی دەکرد ئێستا ئەبێ بچیت لە بانقا بیکەی.
A local vegetable seller said this about the rising dollar rate.
دۆلار بەرز بۆتەوە ئیش و کار نەماوە بازاڕیش زۆر چۆڵ بۆ خەڵک بە پێویست ناتوانێت زۆر شت کڕێ بە کەم شتەکڕێ یعنی ئەگەر ڕۆژان کابرا چیلۆ شتکڕێ نیو چیلۆ کڕێ.
The dinar's deterioration comes even though Iraq's foreign currency reserves are at an all-time high of around $100 billion.
لە ڕێی حواڵەوە دینار و دۆلارێتە بازاڕەوە ئەگەر حواڵە نەکرێت کڕین و فرۆشتنەکەش نامێنێ. ئەنجا بەجددی یعنی ئەمە ئەوەی لێ تێبگەیتین بۆ هاوڵاتی زۆر قورسە بچێت لە بانقێکە حواڵە بکات. زۆر زەحمەتە یعنی بووە شیوا بۆ جاری وەبانیتانی ئەوڕۆپیان $500 بۆ حواڵە کراوە بەڵام لە ڕێی حواڵەکان و لە ڕێی کۆمپانیەکان و لە ڕێی نووسینگەکانەوە زیاتر خەیاڵیتر لەو مەبلەغانە کراوە بە شێوەیەکی زۆر تەندروست و لە ڕێی بانقە عالیەکانەوە کراوە.
If it persists, analysts said that it could challenge the mandate of the government formed in October after a year-long political stalemate. Since the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, Iraq's foreign currency reserves has been housed at the United States' Federal Reserve, giving the Americans significant control over Iraq's supply of dollars. Agency report, Republic TV.
Now on to more international news as Russians celebrate the 80th year of their victory over the Nazis during the World War II. Russian President Vladimir Putin paid his tributes visiting the memorial complex. In the area, Putin even laid a wreath at the eternal flame of the memorial complex for the slain martyrs.
Thousands took to the streets of Volgograd to make 80 years of Soviet victory over the Nazis. A turning point during World War II, the Battle of Stalingrad is known as one of the bloodiest battles in history. With death toll as high as 2 million, the battle remains symbolic of military might.
Мы сегодня благодарны отцам и дедам победителей, но еще высшей благодарностью будет, если мы победим в ближайшее время нацистов, бандеровцев, которые сегодня развязали войну на братской Украине. А для этого надо брать уникальный опыт победной Красной Армии, Сталинградской битвы и Орловско-Курской. Так что под красным знаменем вперед к новым победам.
Russian communists held a procession in honor of the brave hearts and laid a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier to mark the 80 years of the Nazi defeat. Paying tribute to the fallen soldiers, Putin compared the Battle of Stalingrad to the raging war in Ukraine, issuing a fresh threat to the West.
Невероятно, невероятно, но факт. Нам снова угрожают немецкими танками «Леопард», на борту которых кресты. И вновь собираются воевать с Россией на земле Украины руками последующей Гитлера, руками бандеровцев. Мы знаем, что несмотря на усилия официальные, продажные по своей сути, пропаганды недружественных нам западных элит, у нас много друзей, причем во всем мире, в том числе и на американском континенте, в Северной Америке, в Европе.
The Russian president warned that the country is equipped with enough supplies to respond with a firm hand.
Все должны это понимать. Для тех, кто угрожает нам, видимо, для них непонятна простая истина. Весь наш народ, все мы росли и с молоком матери впитали в себя традиции нашего народа. Поколение победителей, которые своим трудом, потом и кровью создали нашу страну и передали ее нам в наследство. Стойкость защитников Сталинграда для российского воинства, для всех нас важнейший морально-нравственный ориентир. И наши солдаты и офицеры верны.
As the Russia-Ukraine war continues to rage on, Putin's threat has come off as a fresh point of contention between the West and the Russia. Agency report for Republic TV.
All right, slipping to a very short break for now, but on the other side, we'll get you details of the opposition meet which is underway on the Adani matter. All that and more coming up on the other side of this very short break. Also, Peshawar bomber responsible for the deaths of over 100 caught on CCTV. All those details on the other side. Sorry.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Pashmi Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya. Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
And in news from the poll-bound state Karnataka, where massive political war has broken out after BJP MLA Ramesh Jarkiholi released an alleged tape of Congress leader DK Shivakumar showing off his wealth. Jarkiholi, the BJP MLA, has alleged that DK Shivakumar is seen blackmailing IS officers by holding the audio and video recordings for getting his work done. Meanwhile, when confronted, DK Shivakumar refuted all the allegations. Take a look as to what has transpired in the state of Karnataka that heads for polls this year.
In poll-bound Karnataka, a big political fight is now brewing, this time over tapes. The BJP has released a tape alleging that Karnataka Congress chief is showing off his wealth. The BJP claims it has evidence that will be submitted to the probing agencies.
ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ 120 ಗಂಟೆ ನಂತರ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು CBI ಮುಂದೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಝಲಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಮೇಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಂಡು ಹಾರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನು ತಯಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಅವನ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಝಲಕ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಒಂದು ಆಡಿಯೋವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು CD ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಬಹಿರಂಗಪಡಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಚಲೋ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಾವು ಏನಾರು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವರ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಇದ್ದ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
Facing the allegations is none but Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivakumar, who ran out of answers and cried foul when Republic confronted him.
But I feel that more or less it is an election budget.
Sir, just need one small clarification, sir. There has been a massive allegation by Ramesh Jarkoli. What do you want to say, sir? Why are these allegations being made?
I don't want to see. They are frustrated. Okay. The BJP is frustrated. Okay. They are losing their
base. So what is that audio clip that he's released, sir? Is that your audio clip, sir?
I don't know. If anything is, sir, let them prove themselves.
Will you be filing a defamation case against him, sir?
Wading into controversy, Chief Minister Bommai said that law will take its own course.
ರಮೇಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಅವರು ನಿನ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆನೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ. ಇದ್ರು ನಿಜ, ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಆ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇನು ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಬರಲಿ, ಬಂದಾಗ ಲಾ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಕಾನೂನು ತನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
And Karnataka Home Minister assured strict action.
ನನಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ, ಏನು CBIಗೆ ಕೊಡುವ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾರ್ದು ತೇಜೋವಧೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಸಿಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ಕೈಗೆ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಹಾಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾರ್ದು ಮುಖಾಮುಲಾಜು ನೋಡ್ದೇನೆ ಪೊಲೀಸು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಖಂಡಿತ ನನಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
And as the race for Karnataka heats up, the tape controversy has come as the latest in the BJP versus Congress face-off. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Time to slip into a very short break for now, but do not go anywhere. We'll get you more from poll-bound state Karnataka, where rebellion within the Congress has only been widening. All that and more on the other side of this break. Also coming up on the other side, opposition creates uproar over Adani issue. All that and more, and finance ministers briefing with the BJP's MPs from both houses.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visuals. The players are here. First visual of Pashmi Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
Total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shala, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shala has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Alright, we start with newsbreak coming in from poll-bound state Karnataka, where rebellion within the state Congress has only been widening. The latest that we're given to understand is that G. Parameshwara has resigned from the manifesto committee. Well, we have Prajwal joining us to give us more details. Prajwal, if you can give us more details as to on what grounds, what is the reason behind G. Parameshwara resigning from the manifesto committee? Alright, we'll try and connect with Prajwal again, but just to tell our viewers again, the rebellion within the state Congress in Karnataka has only been widening. Latest, we're given to understand G. Parameshwara has resigned from the manifesto committee. Prajwal is joining us. Prajwal, give us more details. What are the reasons for which G. Parameshwara has resigned from the manifesto committee?
Now we get to understand, Samiksha, that this was a rebellion which took place last afternoon. And it has been going on because yesterday Randeep Singh Surjewala, who is the Karnataka Congress in charge, along with D.K. Shivakumar, as well as Siddaramaiah, met along with the members of the manifesto committee and also along with several other working members of the KPCC to decide on the final candidates list. But one surprising miss was the fact that Parameshwara was not present. And we should also understand that G. Parameshwara is a very prominent leader for the Congress because he was also the former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka during Siddaramaiah's regime. He's also served as the KPCC working president for 2 tenures, and he comes with a lot of experience, and he's also one of the key prospects for the Congress to gain inroads into the Tumkuru district because he commands a lot of hold, especially in Tumkuru, which is considered to be a BJP bastion. And if the Congress are supposed to make any inroads in Tumkuru or Chitradurga, he was quite prominent. But now we get to understand that even when the manifesto was being made, there are 2 separate manifestos which the Karnataka Congress is making, one for the entire state of Karnataka and one especially for Dakshina Kannada, particularly concentrating on Mangaluru as well. And when it came to Mangaluru, the Congress went ahead and introduced the Griha Lakshmi. They announced the Griha Lakshmi scheme. They also announced 200 units of free electricity while Priyanka Gandhi was here in Bengaluru. But even though G. Parameshwara was the president of the manifesto committee for the Congress in the state, he was not even informed about it before taking these decisions. So,
Prajwal, just a follow-up question. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. Quickly, if you can tell us, there are also reports doing the rounds that there is apparently a rift between D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, if there's any truth to that.
As of now, we get to understand, Samiksha, that all is well because Randeep Singh Surjewala has spoken with D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, and he sorted this out. And even K.C. Venugopal also had made a late-night call to all the leaders, instructing them to stay together. And as a witness to it, we can also see that both D.K. Shivakumar as well as Siddaramaiah are taking part in the Prajadhwani Yatra, which is happening in Mullabagal in Kolar district.
All right, Prajwal, we'll leave it at that. So we continue to track all those updates that have been coming in from poll-bound state Karnataka. The latest, of course, being that top Congress leader has resigned from the manifesto committee. Hindenburg report fallout. Adani Enterprises shares continue to tumble after the FPO fall-off. And Finance Minister briefs BJP MPs as part of BJP's budget outreach program.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shala, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 tons, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shala has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen.
The Heidelberg report fallout. Adani Enterprises shares continue to tank after the FPO is called off. The opposition creates an uproar over the Adani issue, demands a probe. All eyes are on Parliament. The Finance Minister briefs BJP MPs from both houses ahead of the BJP's budget outreach program. SpaceX launches 53 Starlink internet satellites into orbit. The Peshawar bomber who was responsible for the deaths of 400 people is caught on CCTV. Good morning. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We begin with news that's just coming in over the Adani group of companies. Adani Enterprises has now been removed from the Dow Jones Sustainability Indices effective prior to the opening that will now happen on the 7th of February. That's Tuesday. Now, the S&P Dow Jones has said that it will be removing Adani Group's flagship firm, that's Adani Enterprises, from the sustainability indices with effect from the 7th of February following a media and stakeholder analysis that's been triggered by allegations of accounting fraud. Niranjan Narayanswamy on the phone line with us. Niranjan, give us more details of what S&P Dow Jones has come. We understand that the move, of course, comes amid the stock exchanges putting the 3 Adani Group companies under their short-term additional surveillance measure framework.
Well, essentially, the S&P Dow Jones has said today in the poll that it will remove the Adani Group's flagship firm, Adani Enterprises, from the sustainability indices with effect 7th of February, following the media and stakeholder analysis triggered by allegations of accounting fraud. They basically referring to the Hindenburg report. The move coming amid the leading stock exchanges, BSE and NSE, putting three Adani Group companies, Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, a special economic zone, and Ambuja Cement under their short-term additional surveillance measure framework. And in the statement that was issued this morning, Adani Enterprises, S&P Dow Jones said that Adani Enterprises will remove the Dow Jones sustainability indices following a media and stakeholder analysis triggered by these allegations, and it will make changes to the Dow Jones sustainability indices effective prior to the opening of the Dow Jones on the 7th of February. Meanwhile, shares of the Adani Enterprises this morning were trading about 15% lower in the Bombay Stock Exchange in early trade, and the counter had plunged over 26% on Thursday, more than 28% on Wednesday. I think we need to cut to the Parliament right now, where there is ruckus. We need to cut across slides.
Right. Thank you for that, Niranjan. In fact, we're just going to cut across now.
माननीय सदस्य ने जैसे कहा है कि उन्हें एम्स जैसी सुविधा चाहिए, तो जरूर उस तौर पे केंद्र सरकार काम कर रही है, और जिसमें आज भोपाल में हमारे 4 सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल के लिए बजट भी दिया गया है। उसके अलावा 14 नए मेडिकल कॉलेज को भी बजट दिया गया है, जो कि अच्छे पैमाने पर सुविधा देंगे। मैं आदरणीय सदस्य को यह कहना चाहती हूँ कि सरकार की मंशा ये है कि गांव-गांव तक अच्छी सुविधा पहुंचे, जिस दिशा में आज हमारी सरकार काम कर रही है।
महोदय, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र में जो मेडिकल कॉलेज प्रारंभ होकर निर्माण के लिए और तैयार हैं, एक मेडिकल कॉलेज में एजुकेशन की सुविधाएं प्रारंभ हो गई रतलाम में, मंदसौर और नीमच 2 मेडिकल कॉलेज में आप क्या इसी सत्र से शैक्षणिक सुविधाएं प्रारंभ करेंगे क्या?
सदस्य ने, आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, जो सदस्य ने चिंता जताई है कि जैसे ही काम आगे बढ़ता है वैसे ही हम इंस्पेक्शन करके एजुकेशन देते हैं। धन्यवाद।
माननीय सदस्यगण, प्रश्नकाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण समय होता है, और प्रश्नकाल के अंदर आज देश के चिकित्सा के संबंध में, G20 के विषय में, रक्षा के संबंध में महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है, और आपको पर्याप्त समय, पर्याप्त अवसर मिलता है। प्रश्नकाल समय पे सरकार की जवाबदेही तय कर सकते हैं। मेरा आपसे आग्रह है कि आप अपनी अपनी सीट पर जाएं, प्रश्नकाल को चलने दें। देश की सभी लोकतांत्रिक संस्थाएं ने संकल्प लिया है कि प्रश्नकाल को स्थगित मत होने दो। आप सदन की मर्यादा नहीं है, महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पर चर्चा हो रही है, प्रश्नकाल पर आप चर्चा नहीं करना चाहते। माननीय सदस्यगण, ये उचित नहीं है। माननीय सदस्यगण, माननीय महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का पहला अभिभाषण पर धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव है। देश के अंदर पहले जनजाति समुदाय से महिला राष्ट्रपति बनी है, जिन्होंने केंद्रीय कक्ष में अपनी बात को रखी है। हम उनको धन्यवाद नहीं देना चाहते, सदन पर चर्चा नहीं करना चाहते। राष्ट्रपति के पहले अभिभाषण पर चर्चा नहीं करना ये उचित नहीं है। माननीय सदस्यगण, मेरा आपसे आग्रह है कि आप जाइए, हम सब महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पर उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहते हैं। उनका पहला अभिभाषण है। आप क्या सदन के अंदर दिखाना चाहते हैं जनता को? आप राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण पर चर्चा करो, बजट पर चर्चा करो, महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पर चर्चा करो। मैं सदन में आपको पर्याप्त समय, पर्याप्त अवसर दूंगा। आप जिन विषयों पर चर्चा करना चाहते हैं उनका नोटिस दें। नारेबाजी करना सदन की मर्यादा के अनुकूल नहीं है। सदन की कार्रवाई 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
To see me in my chamber during lunch recess. You will be feasted with the food of your choice. One second. Honorable members, please take your seat. Honorable member, please take your seat. Honorable members, the proceedings of the House can continue only when the House is in order. If the House is not in order, the proceedings cannot continue. I have given my ruling and no further discussion on that can take place. This is, one second. This is the practice since long. This is also codified in the rules and go to Mayor's parliamentary practice or call and sector. If there has been a ruling of the chair, parliamentary democracy survives on the strength of the chair. I have given my ruling. My ruling has been continually disregarded. Anyone reading the Rule 267 will make it apparent. I have got lot of inputs from students. I do not wish to share with the House. They say, how is it that every day you are saying the same thing and there is continual disregard? What I am asking for, one second. The House stands adjourned to meet at 2:30 p.m. on 2/23.
All right, so both houses of Parliament, the Rajya Sabha as well as the Lok Sabha have both been adjourned even as we speak. They will now reconvene after lunch. That's about at 2 o'clock. Now, both houses, we've seen ruckus take place since yesterday. The opposition demanding a discussion on the Adani issue. But so far, the government not wanting to give in. Now, as far as the opposition is concerned, they've asked for two things. One is that they want an all-party probe into the allegations that have been leveled by Hindenburg. Apart from that, they want a Supreme Court monitored inquiry into allegations that have been leveled by the short-selling firm Hindenburg Limited. Now, what we are given to understand is that all of this is coming even as Adani Enterprises shares continue their downward spiral. And we are also now learning that Dow Jones sustainability indices have also said that they will remove Adani Group's flagship firm, that's Adani Enterprises, from the sustainability indices with effect from the 7th of February. So the opposition at the moment, of course, continuing to demand JPC on this. So far, of course, the government has said that this is just one company and there will be no discussion on this. Let's go across to Niranjan. Niranjan, we saw both houses of parliament being adjourned once again. Now, this, of course, even as the opposition appears to be extremely firm on their stand.
That's correct, Nupur, and looks like this issue is going to, keep the parliament deadlocked until there's some sort of a breakthrough, because 16 opposition parties met in parliament before the session earlier today. And they've stepped up their attack on the government. You heard the slogan hearing inside Parliament. They're seeking discussion on the Adani stock route. At least 16 opposition parties met this morning. They coordinated the strategy in Parliament. They decided to step up their attack on the government, demanding an immediate discussion. And this meeting comes the day after they unitedly led the charge against the government over the issue and stalled both houses of Parliament on Thursday. Various opposition parties have demanded a joint parliamentary committee probe or a Supreme Court monitored probe into the Adani issue, while also seeking a discussion on it in Parliament. But you heard some of the ministers yesterday clearly saying that it's the case of a company withdrawing an FPO and there is no need to drag the government into it. So this is where it stands, and the opposition seems firm. They don't want to let go of the issue. These 16 parties include, of course, led by the Congress party, which has been going after Adani for several years now. The DMK, the Samajwadi Party, the Aam Aadmi Party, BRS, Sena, RJD, JDU, CPM, CPI, NCP, National Conference, IUML, Kerala Congress, and the RSP. all of these leaders saying that they want an independent investigation, and that only an independent investigation will save the LIC, SBI and other institutions forced by the Prime Minister, they claim, to invest in the Adani Group. That's the allegation that the Congress has drawn. They've been alleging that the investments made by LIC and SBI have been forced, and they claim a government hand. Of course, these are political statements, hard to be proven, but I think the fact that it's crashed and how, and the fact that Adani, has been handed some strategic geopolitical projects also makes that issue all the more precarious. And the government so far has not responded, though one or two ministers have gone on record to tell the Republic that it's not an issue that concerns the government. So they don't want to, they feel there is no sense, there is no point in dragging the government into it because it's the case of one company.
Right, absolutely. Just going back to what the short seller, the allegations that have been made by Hindenburg Group, they of course have accused the Adani Enterprises of a large number of wrongdoings. But the response so far, Niranjan, from Adani Group has been that they believe that this report is malicious, full of lies. However, the opposition picking it up.
Well, the Hindenburg, it's the Hindenburg report, and the Hindenburg report, the Adani Group gave like a 400-page response to it, saying that, it was one-sided, it was aimed to attack India and attack the Adani stocks, and they, of course, claimed motive to it. But the fact that despite that, and the FPO being called off, their stocks continue to crash. It's clear that that report has had impact. Even the Dow Jones indices removing the Adani Enterprises, the flagship firm of the Adani, the flagship arm rather of the Adani Group, being removed from the S&P Dow Jones is significant because they too are relying on that report while speaking about the allegations. So Hindenburg, of course, had dismissed a charge saying that its report on the Adani Group's, the malfeasance was a calculated attack, is what Adani Group said, saying that they also said that fraud cannot be obfuscated by nationalism or a bloated response that ignored key allegations. But the markets are clearly reacting to this report, and you can't deny the fact that this particular report has had an impact on the stock.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are, of course, continuously bringing to our viewers how the stocks are doing currently. Do stay with us, Niranjan, but let's listen to what opposition parties have been demanding. They want a thorough investigation into the charges that have been laid at the doorstep of the Adanis.
I may ask Mr. Palla Josiji, what is the harm of demanding the constitution of JPC? Because the scam, I think simply it's a scam, and it has assumed a very greater dimension. It has already assumed. So in view of the people's concern and apprehension which we are observing, that the entire stock market has been reeling under total uncertainties and tumblings also, where common investors, people's hard-earned money are involved.
अगर आपने देखा होगा कि अदानी जी के शेयर्स गिरते रहे, उसके बावजूद भी एसबीआई और एलआईसी ने इतना जो निवेश किया था। दूसरी बात है जो अभी जो उनकी जो ऑफरिंग आई थी 2.5 बिलियन डॉलर्स की, 2.5 बिलियन डॉलर्स की अरब की, उसमें से जो सूचना मिल रही है कि अदानी समूह के लोग ने, जो अपने कंपनी के लोग ने अपने जो है पब्लिक ऑफर में पैसे डाले, तो ये इलीगल नहीं है, ये एक क्रिमिनल एक्ट भी है। अगर पब्लिक ऑफर में अगर अदानी कंपनी के फाइनेंस ऑफिसर या अदानी जी अपने पैसा डाल रहे हैं क्योंकि शेयर का दाम बढ़ाने के लिए, तो एक बहुत भयंकर फ्रॉड है। पहली बात यह है। दूसरी बात है कि आपको याद करना पड़ेगा कि $7 बिलियन का तो इनके वैल्यूएशन 2014 में था। $70 बिलियन तक पहुंचा है कौन? मोदी जी और बीजेपी। अभी जो हम लोग अदानी जी के जो संपत्ति में गिरावट पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आप नहीं समझ रहे कि 7 बिलियन सिर्फ $7 बिलियन की संपत्ति थी 8 साल पहले। 8 साल में वो 70 हो गए, 150 तक पहुंच गए बिलियन डॉलर। ये सबसे बड़ा फ्रॉड है। जिस कंपनी में रेवेन्यू नहीं है, जिस कंपनी में जो है किसी तरह का उनके रेवेन्यू के और या लोन पे करने की क्षमता नहीं है, मोदी जी के और उनके जो है भाजपा के समर्थन से जो है दाम बढ़ती जा रही है। और कुछ टीवी चैनल के भी ये देश के साथ और लपेट लेते हैं तिरंगा में।
देखिए, हम क्यों चिंतित हैं? हम ये बार बार मुद्दा क्यों उठा रहे हैं? हमारे नेता प्रतिपक्ष क्यों उठा रहे हैं? हमारी राजनीतिक पार्टियां क्यों उठा रहे हैं? क्योंकि यहाँ 78,000 करोड़ रुपया LIC का अडानी में इन्वेस्ट किया गया है। SBI म्यूचुअल फंड है, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक है, पेंशन फंड है। करोड़ों रुपया मध्य वर्ग के लोगों का, करोड़ों भारतवासियों का की बचत इस कंपनियों में लगे हुए हैं, जिसका मार्केट वैल्यू घटा है पिछले 5-6 दिनों में। तो जाहिर है, इसीलिए तो हमने मांग कर रहे हैं कि JPC का हो। देखिए, ये निजी मामला नहीं है, ये सिर्फ एक निजी कंपनी और किसी विदेशी कंपनी के बीच में नहीं है। ये अभी करोड़ों भारतवासियों का मामला है, क्योंकि LIC के माध्यम से, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया म्यूचुअल फंड के माध्यम से, पेंशन फंड के माध्यम से हजारों करोड़ रुपया इसमें लगा हुआ है और इन कंपनियों में लगा हुआ है, जिसका मूल्य घटा जा रहा है। तो इसीलिए हम मांग कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट है। ये हमें हिंडनबर्ग से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। हमारा यही एक ही कहना है कि LIC, SBI म्यूचुअल फंड पर आपने दबाव डाला और उनको प्रेशराइज करके उनको इन्वेस्ट कराया गया अडानी के कंपनियों में। तो यही, इस पर जांच होनी चाहिए। फोन बैंकिंग प्रधानमंत्री कहते थे UPA के समय में फोन बैंकिंग होता है। अभी तो ये तो मोबाइल बैंकिंग हो गया ना, ये भी तो एक फोन बैंकिंग है। तो इससे प्रधानमंत्री इसमें बिल्कुल जुड़े हुए हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप देखें 2014 के बाद जिस तरीके से अडानी कंपनी को कितना फायदा हुआ है, पोर्ट, एयरपोर्ट, गैस, पावर, कोई भी लीजिए, किसी भी क्षेत्र में देखिए अडानी कंपनी का एक मोनोपोली बन रहा है और ये सरकार के समर्थन के बिना नहीं बनता। जब निजीकरण होता है तो अडानी कंपनियां हैं।
Well, we do not want a talk out. We want a joint parliamentary committee. And the reason why we are demanding a joint parliamentary committee is not because it is individual specific. We are concerned about the failure of the regulatory institutions. That why is it that an unknown company puts out a report and the markets react in this manner? So therefore, if $80 billion or $100 billion worth of value has been wiped out, it obviously begs the question, has there been a failure by the Securities and Exchange Board of India? Has there been a failure by the Reserve Bank of India? And as these institutions have been created by statute, in fact, SEBI was born out of the Joint Parliamentary Committee of 1992, which looked at the stock market bloodbath. So therefore, it is important that a joint parliamentary committee should look into the efficacy of India's regulatory architecture, which governs our capital markets and which governs our financial system. So therefore, rather than become defensive, the government must agree to a joint parliamentary committee. This is the rationale of a joint parliamentary committee.
Well, various opposition parties, of course, led by the Congress, have asked for JPC, that's a joint parliamentary committee probe into the Adani Group crisis that we are seeing. Now, this, of course, comes a day after the FPO was called off. But as we've been seeing since this morning, of course, the bourse is still continuing to react very strongly to this, and most of the Adani Group companies are trading in the red. A man has been arrested for dragging a motorcycle by his speeding car for more than 4 kilometers, ignoring attempts by other commuters to stop his vehicle in Gurugram in Haryana. Now, the car hit a motorcycle that was parked along the road, as a result of which the two-wheeler got stuck beneath it. Fire broke out in a yet-to-be inaugurated Secretariat building, which is still under construction in Hyderabad. No casualties have been reported in the incident yet. More than 10 fire tenders reached the spot and doused the flames. In a mega crackdown on child marriage offenders in Assam, the Assam police have arrested over 200 offenders. This comes as part of the initiative of the state to curb the practice of child marriage. A 2019 structural audit of the civic-run KM hospital in Mumbai has found that as many as 6 wards are in the need of structural repairs, but no work has yet been taken up. Patients, doctors and medical staff have been functioning in the hospital in such conditions over the past 3 years. Adani Enterprises is set to be removed from the Dow Jones Sustainability Indices effective prior to the opening on Thursday, that's the 7th of February. This comes 2 days after Adani Enterprises withdrew their FPO. Tripura's Chief Minister Manik Saha has held a door-to-door campaign in the state's capital, Agartala, ahead of the assembly elections, which are scheduled to be held on the 16th of February. Uttarakand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has called upon people in the state to work and help the government in its resolution to make the state narcotics-free by the year 2025. The Dadasaheb Phalke awardee and renowned filmmaker Kasinadhuni Vishwanath has died at a private hospital. He was 92. Vishwanath was unwell for some time and was suffering from age-related issues. He passed away at the hospital around midnight Thursday. BSF troops have shot down a Pakistani drone which had intruded into a security area in Amritsar. The drone has been recovered this morning between the border fence and zero line. A packet of contraband has also been recovered. Air India's flight from Abu Dhabi to Calcutta went back to Abu Dhabi after the engine caught fire after takeoff. A full emergency was declared after the incident. The flight has now returned and landed safely. You are watching Republic TV. We slip into a very short break. On the other side, more news coming your way, including the finance minister briefs the BJP MPs of both houses ahead of the budget outreach program of the BJP. And the Peshawar bomber responsible for the deaths of over 100 people is caught on CCTV.
Everything we know is at risk. The time to act is now. We must all be champions. Champions for the earth.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak River, which is approximately weighing 40 tons, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janaki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India number one.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visuals. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak River, which is approximately weighing 40 tons, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janaki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
The Hindenburg report fallout. Adani Enterprises shares continue to tumble after the FPO is called off. Opposition creates an uproar over the Adani issue, demands a probe. All eyes continue to remain on the parliament. The finance minister briefs BJP MPs from both houses ahead of the BJP's budget outreach program. SpaceX launches 53 Starlink internet satellites into orbit. The Peshawar bomber responsible for deaths of over 100 people is caught on CCTV. Now, the US is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over US airspace for a couple of days now. But the Pentagon has decided not to shoot it down due to risks of harm to people on the ground. This is according to officials who have said that the US has been keeping track of this balloons, which has been spotted on in US skies. Now, we are given to understand that the US has said that top military officials have earlier considered shooting down the balloon, but did not execute the same, fearing that it may endanger many people on the ground. The balloon was said to be flying over the northwest region of the US, where there are sensitive air bases and strategic missiles. Now, agencies are reporting that the US suspects that the intent of this balloon is for surveillance, and the current fight paths does carry over it a number of sensitive sites. The US is also believed to be assessing the additive value of this surveillance balloon. Now, the balloon entered US airspace a couple of days ago. According to officials, the fighter jets examined the balloon while it was above Montana as discussions took place between top military leaders. So what we are given to understand at the moment is that the US is closely monitoring the situation. All right, we're now getting news of protests that are taking place in Chandigarh. Let's go across to Amandeep and understand what's happening. Yes, Amandeep, tell us more.
Well, Nupur, in Chandigarh, aided colleges are on the strike, and in fact, just because all the professors who are sitting on a continuous strike against the UT administration with the demand to fall their service rule with the center service rules, and in fact all aided colleges in Chandigarh have been suspended their work just because teaching and the non-teaching staff both are on strike. And you can see the visuals every day. They are staging the protest in one college, and today this is happening in the Khalsa college with the placards in their hands, and in fact revise the pay scale and even join their service into the center service rules that has been announced by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah during his last visit to Chandigarh. And in fact he announced that all the UT employees will fall under the center service rules, but aided colleges remain separate from that, and that is the reason these professors, teaching staff as well as non-teaching staff are on the continuous strike to raise their demand. They met UT Education Secretary and even UT advisor as well. They have given several representations, but that has been not materialized, and finally they have landed on the protest, and we will try to speak some of the professors who are standing here to know more about this. So sir, what is the issue? What is your demand on this?
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੈਂਟਰਲ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਰੂਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਾਲਜਾਂ ਤੇ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਪੈਰਿਟੀ ਵਾਈਜ਼ ਏਡਡ ਕਾਲਜ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੇ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਾਲਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਰੂਲ ਆ ਉਹ ਸੇਮ ਲੱਗਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਬਿਊਰੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗੰਦਾ ਖੇਲ ਖੇਡ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਵਿਲ ਹੈ। ਅਮਿਤ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ 29 ਮਾਰਚ 2022 ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਊਰੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਹਾਨਾ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਹਰਡਲ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਰਾਰਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਕੱਲੀ ਯੂਟੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਵਿਲ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਬਿਊਰੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਵਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੰਗ ਇਹੀ ਆ, ਸਾਡੀ ਮੰਗ ਯੂਟੀ ਦੇ ਐਡਵਾਈਜ਼ਰ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਮਿਤ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚਾਹੇ ਕੰਨ ਖਿੱਚਣ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਰਡਰ ਕਰਨ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਾਰਟ ਹੈ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਰੂਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਲਾਗੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ।
So ma'am, have you given any kind of representation to the UT secretary, advisor and administrator?
We have been continuously giving our representations from the very day one when this notification came into being. But they have been listening to us, they have been keeping those things, and they have not been doing anything on it.
So what is your next step? आपका अगला स्टेप क्या होगा? ये स्ट्राइक कंटिन्यूस चल रही है, ये जो काम है वो सस्पेंड रहेगा एडेड कॉलेज?
नहीं, अभी हमारा सारा काम सस्पेंडेड है, और जब तक हमारी मांगे सुनी नहीं जाती तब तक ये प्रोसेशन चलता रहेगा।
इसका कोई और is there any other way out? क्योंकि इस तरह तो बच्चों की एजुकेशन पे भी इम्पैक्ट होगा।
So the only way out is the intervention of the Chandigarh administration in a positive sense, where the government of India, the MHA, everybody has given the new signals. Before 1st April 2022, there was no existence of service rule of Chandigarh employees. But now there is a formation of Chandigarh Service Rule 2022. So by virtue of its invention, it should be implemented in on higher institution in equal manner. We want parity, which is Chandigarh administration is snatching us in a very bad manner. We have ever been treated equally, and we want equality and equity. If we are not being given our dues, We promise that Chandigarh administration will be completely restless because education will be totally banned. We are in no mood क्योंकि कहते हैं माँ या पेरेंट्स एक लिमिट तक अपना पेट छुपाते हैं बच्चों ਨੂੰ भी पेट पढ़ना आंदा है ਤੇ माँ-बाप ਨੂੰ पेट खोलना भी आंदा जरूरत पे ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ डिस्कस कर रहे हैं आवाज बच्चों तक जा रही हो समझ सकते हैं लेकिन कल बच्चे भी नाल रलणगे आज टीचिंग और नॉन टीचिंग है साडे स्टूडेंट्स भी नाल रलणगे साडे परिवार भी नाल रलणगे.
So in fact, Nupur, every time we have seen that students remain protesting in the colleges, but this time teaching and the non-teaching staff, they are on the protest, and due to their protest, the work has been suspended among all the aided colleges in Chandigarh. And behind me, these are not the students, so basically they are the teaching and the non-teaching staff raising their demand to Union Ministry, Union Home Ministry in fact, with Union UT administration, and even try to get themselves enrolled into the central services rules that was announced by Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and in fact that did not implemented to the aided colleges only. Yes, Nupur.
All right, so as we can see behind you, of course, hundreds of teachers over there protesting against the government, also asking for more recognition. So give us a sense of how long these protests are likely to carry on and what has been the response to them.
Well, Nupur, the teachers and the non-teaching staff is very much adamant. They are saying that this protest will be continued till the time their demands will not met. But on the other side, there is a definitely impact on the education of the college students and who are studying in the aided colleges. And in fact, after this, their action is to meet the UT administration, to raise their voice till Union Home Ministry, to raise their demands so that at least they can get a relief after getting into the central services rules. Just because their services are apart from that. Even they have already met UT Education Secretary, and even the notification has not been issued that all the aided colleges will fall under the central services rules. And that is the point where this strike in the protest is happening. They wanted to issue one gadget notification, and the moment it will be happening, the protest will be ended. Until the time, they'll continue their protest. And in fact, this is the 4th day of the protest. Before protesting, they have given several alerts and even several communications to the administration as well as ministry with their own demand. Yes, Nupur.
All right. Amandeep, thank you very much for joining us with that report. Amandeep, of course, is bringing us the latest in terms of the strike that we are seeing in Chandigarh.
Another incident of road rage has surfaced, and this time from Haryana's Gurugram. A bike was dragged for several kilometers while it was stuck under a car. As per the sources, incident took place in Gurugram sector 62, where the car driver dragged the bike stuck underneath his vehicle for about 4 kilometers. Watch, the car, while dragging the bike, sparked flames. It was a narrow escape for the victim as he was waiting outside Walmart in Sector 62, and it was at this point when the car driver hit the vehicle, following which the victim fell on the side of the road. Meanwhile, a case has been registered against the driver, who is still on the run. And the Gurugram police has initiated the probe to nab the driver. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
You are watching Republic TV, and on the other side, the Hindenburg report fallout continues as Adani Group shares tumble after the FPO is called off. And the Finance Minister briefs BJP MPs from both houses ahead of the BJP's budget outreach program.
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
A total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu.
Welcome back. Now, senior advocate Mahesh Jethmalani has called out the BBC for its ties to China. The BJP MP has alleged that the BBC has large-scale investment in Chinese-owned companies.
This is showing that the BBC is completely financially interlocked with China, with the Chinese state, through Chinese state-owned companies like Huawei and all that. But the idea is that, to show that the documentary, basically, is no more than a Chinese-inspired initiative.
So Mahesh Jethmalani over there stepping up his attack on the BBC. Now, do remember that the Rajya Sabha MP and the senior advocate has hit out at BBC over its Chinese ties in the past as well. He has in fact termed the BBC as a mouthpiece of China with large-scale investments in Chinese state-owned companies. Now, his tweets over the past few days have also carried news articles to back his claims. He has, of course, referred to various investigations that have been carried out in magazines in the United Kingdom as well. Let's listen in once again to what he said.
This is showing that the BBC is completely financially interlocked with China, with the Chinese state, through Chinese state-owned companies like Huawei and all that. But The idea is that, to show that the documentary basically is no more than a Chinese inspired initiative.
Well, the MP, of course, has been talking about a report that came out in the Daily Mail in the United Kingdom, which seemed to suggest that about £150 million in Chinese state-owned companies have been invested by the BBC. So, Mahesh Jethmalani over there saying that he is completely sure that that China is interlocked with the BBC. You are watching Republic TV. On the other side, we bring you more news, including the Hindenburg reports fallout as Adani Group of companies shares continue to tank. And Finance Minister briefs BJP MPs from both houses of Parliament ahead of the BJP's budget outreach program.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital Delhi. Are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were travelling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
Total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India number one.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the
Well, there appears to have been an email that has been received by the NIA which talks about a terror threat in Mumbai. Now, we are learning that agencies are already probing the source of this email. The NIA claims that this email says that there is going to be an attack in Mumbai. Soon after the email was received, different cities have been alerted. We are also learning that the NIA has also told the Mumbai police about this, and the Mumbai police has been put on high alert. So after this email, the Mumbai police is also looking at the source of this email. Let's go across to Shavan Sen, who's got more details on this. Shavan, tell us more, please.
Well, in fact, this email was sent to the National Investigation Agency targeting the Mumbai office is what we are being told. In fact, this came from an unidentified person. This has been informed to the Mumbai police is what we are being told. As of now, we can confirm there hasn't been any FIR that has been registered by the National Investigation Agency with the Mumbai police. Important to point out here is that Mumbai police has already been on alert over the last few weeks, because remember, there have been multiple inputs that they've been working on. As of now, not to fearmonger on this entire matter. That's the reason why Mumbai police hasn't made anything public. Once the FIR is registered, what's going to be important for the National Investigation Agency as well as the Mumbai police to find out where did this email originate from, because it appears that names of Taliban leaders have been taken in this particular email. Whether this is some sort of a hoax, some sort of a prank, that is not known. Having said that, all seriousness being attached to this entire investigation that's being carried out by the Mumbai police at this point in time. In all likelihood, in the hours to come, there would be an FIR that is going to be registered, Nupur, in this entire matter, where they're going to basically look at the IP address from where this email actually originated, number one. And secondly, with regards to who exactly did actually send this email, because it turns out not only the NIA's Mumbai office, but also several other units of the National Investigation Agency has also been mentioned in that particular email that was sent out.
So, Shavan, what we are getting to understand right now is that according to this email that is now being investigated, there are several officers of the NIA that have also been mentioned. For the moment, I'm sorry, Shavan, we're running out of time, so thank you very much for your inputs. You are watching Republic TV. We're going to continue getting you all the latest news on this, including the latest on the terror threat email that has been sent to the NIA.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India number one.
Under 19 women cricket team are arriving here at the national capital. Delhi are showing you the visual. The players are here. First visual of Kashmir Chopra. We can see the tricolor flag here. The proud daughters of our country who have made the country proud by winning the World Cup in South Africa against England.
A tragic accident in Bengaluru has gone on to claim the lives of a mother-daughter duo on Bannerghatta main road, and this incident happened on the 1st of February. Truck which was carrying concrete has overturned and fallen on the car in which the mother and the daughter were traveling. The driver of the truck absconded immediately as soon as this accident took place, and the owner of the truck has been identified as Bharat. A case of rash and negligent driving has also been registered at the Bannerghatta police station.
At the Osmania University, few BRS student wing followers tried to screen the BBC documentary inside the Osmania University campus, and this is after it happened at the Hyderabad Central University. All police officials tried to stop them, and then later they were taken in preventive custody. Well, the last evening,
Total of 4 people have now been arrested by the Jammu Kashmir police in the past 24 hours with related to the ID blasts that have taken place. These are the exclusive visuals of the perfume ID that has been recovered by the Jammu police, and this perfume ID was kept with the terrorist Arif Ahmed Sheikh. With the arrest of Arif Ahmed and 3 others, the Jammu and Kashmir police has busted a major terror module.
Republic TV is in Ayodhya with Shaligram stone. This Shaligram Shila, which is a representation of a Lord Vishnu in a Hindu religion, are found in Kali Gandak river, which is approximately weighing 40 ton, has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Republic TV 40.34%. Arnab at 9 gets more than News 18 plus times now. 190% lead over News 18 in super prime time. Republic TV, there's only one leader in English news. Republic TV, the All India #1.
आज केवल कोई बजट अपनी सत्ता में आने के लिए नहीं, हम भारत को आगे बढ़ाने की सोच के साथ चलते हैं।
आज जब बजट प्रस्तुत किया वित्त मंत्री जी ने, तो उन्होंने जीवन के नागरिक के हर आयाम को छुआ।
It is a very inclusive budget, a very wholesome budget. It addresses the aspirations of every section of society.
देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को लंबे अरसे तक बल देने वाला एक फाउंडेशन क्रिएट करने वाला बजट आज माननीय निर्मला जी ने पेश किया है।
Well, it is a transformational budget, there's no question about that. In many ways, an inclusive growth budget.
Perfect budget, biggest voices, biggest newsmakers on Republic TV.
And thank you for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking at 12 p.m. I'm Suesha Sound, and the top story we're tracking for you this afternoon as the Adani controversy is getting bigger. Adani Enterprises now to be dropped from the Dow Jones Sustainability Indices. In fact, S&P Dow Jones has said that it will remove Adani Group's flagship firm, Adani Enterprises, from sustainability indices with effect from the 7th of February, following a media and stakeholder analysis triggered by allegations of accounting fraud. This, as we see the political furor over what is happening with regards to the Adani controversy, Dow Jones has said that it will remove Adani Group's flagship firm, Adani Enterprises, from the sustainability indices. The move has come amid leading stock exchanges, PSE and NSE, putting 3 Adani companies, that is Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone and Ambuja Cements, under their short-term additional surveillance measure framework, which is the ASM framework. Now, in a statement that has come from the Dow Jones Indices, Adani Enterprises will be removed from the Dow Jones Sustainability Indices following a media and stakeholder analysis triggered by allegations of accounting fraud, and this change will reflect from the 7th of February. Cutting across to my colleague Shavan Sen, who's tracking all the details for us very closely. Well, Shavan, clearly the trouble for Adani Group is seeming to not get lesser in any which way. On the contrary, it's only escalating. This latest change that has come about and the announcement that has been made by Dow Jones, how will this have a larger impact?
Well, in fact, there has been a back-to-back setback for the Adani group. First, with the RBI stepping into this matter. However, having said that, remember, RBI hasn't come on record with regards to the fact that they basically asked the banks to inform about their exposure with the Adani group. Now, that's important given the fact that there has been a lot of demand to find out, what was the need for banks like the State Bank of India as well as LIC to come out in the open and help the Adani group, and that has basically raised the eyebrow. What's important to point out here is that even though the market seems to be extremely volatile and the shares are plunging, if you look at their flagship enterprise, that's Adani Enterprise, the prices have gone down beyond 28%. Now that's by far the biggest setback that the group has seen from the time it has basically consolidated, especially assets like the Ambuja cement. These were basically seen as very solid assets of the Adani group. When the shares have come down, it only goes on to indicate that they haven't been able to stabilize this entire matter, and they're still reeling under that shock that was caused because of the 100-page report put out by Hindenburg Research. A lot of questions can essentially be raised about Hindenburg Research, given the fact also in the past there are several other companies in the United States that have also been a target of the Hindenburg Research. But it raises some fundamental questions with regards to what the Hindenburg Research has been talking about, that is calling it the largest con in the history of corporate India. That's what Hindenburg Research says. But how are they really substantiating it? They are saying that the executives of the Adani group have links with seedy criminals. Now that's the kind of allegation that has been leveled. But once again, it goes back to the core issue. The issue essentially being that how exactly are they qualifying all these allegations? Having said that, remember, there's been a massive political furor in India. Opposition parties have already trained their guns at the government. The government said that they have nothing to do when it comes to an individual private company. Let's listen into the opposition briefing that's taking place.
Shavan, I'm sorry I'm having to interrupt you here, but we're of course tracking the...
इनका तो कुछ लिखाया नहीं जाता. अब ये रोजाना गिर रहा है ऐसे यार. लोग घबराए हुए हैं, लोग बैंक से अपना पैसा निकालना चाहते हैं, बैंकों के पास पैसा नहीं. ये स्थिति है. इसलिए संसद सदस्य, विपक्ष के सारे लीडर्स और सारे एमपीज लगातार ये मांग कर रहे हैं कि इस पर इसकी जांच हो, क्योंकि सारी अर्थव्यवस्था के साथ साथ ये लोगों के जीवन को बर्बाद करने वाली स्थिति पैदा हो गई है. इसलिए इस पर जेपीसी के जरिए जांच होनी चाहिए, और गवर्नमेंट इसको नहीं भी मानती है तो जांच हो, लेकिन चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया की निगरानी में हो. ये हम सब की मांग है, लेकिन वो चर्चा करने को तैयार नहीं, बात सुनने को तैयार नहीं. यानी इतना बड़ा घोटाला है, देश की जनता चिंतित है, लेकिन सरकार बिल्कुल चिंतित है. बिल्कुल कोई परवाह नहीं. हम लोग कहते हैं कोई बात, उसको सुनने को कोई तैयार नहीं. नोटिस देते हैं, कहते हैं नियमानुकूल नहीं. ऐसा कभी देखा नहीं. हम तो इतने लंबे अरसे से संसद में कभी ये प्रश्न ही नहीं उठा. अगर नोटिस नहीं है तो कैसा है सही, तो भाई उसका एक परफॉर्मा बताना चाहिए, लेकिन सो भी नहीं. तो ये स्थिति है. तो जब तक ऐसा ये गवर्नमेंट नहीं ये मानती है, तब तक संसद सदस्य जनहित में इस तरह का कार्य करने के लिए विवश हो.
दूसरा दिन, second day that we are continuing your protest. See, it is not a protest. Only 3 days back you had a budget of 45 lakh crores. Now 32,000 crores have been wiped out within your own NSE. That means it has an impact on the budget also. Who is going to explain this? See, these are our concerns. Today the entire foreign debt scheme, wherein your collaterals are again declining, are diluted. Now who is going to reply for all this? There are many issues. You open the TV or open the paper, you will read and hear all about Adani thing. Now there's another point we must say. In the world, can you show me one example where within 2 years one man could go to the extent of becoming the world's second richest? This fastest growth has to come into the framework of it, what is known as regulatory system. Particularly if we reach a particular stage, the regulator comes and says how it is being done. The regulatory system has failed totally. That is why what we are saying is, we are debating, we have a lot of points, and you also have a lot of points. Only yesterday, Salveji came in defense of the Adani. That means he has also raised few legal issues. So both the legal issues and political issues wherein the crony capitalism has become the order of the day. If this man could become that big, it has to have it some kind of a patronage of the ruling dispensation, which he has. These things have to be probed. We are not asking, the debates are there, the matter is with you, the material is with you, the world knows it is a domain, open domain. But today what we are asking is, discuss on two issues. Legally try to find out whether how could it be possible at all, and what exactly should have been the action, and what should be the regulatory methodology hereafter. Second is, if there are any legal things which is trying to take shelter under, then we are trying to say, let the Chief Justice decide and give a judge, let the Supreme Court judge look into this issue. So all that the opposition asking is a debate and a probe. And I don't think there can be any other thing so simple as that Parliament is a deliberative house. We are deliberating, we are discussing and asking for an action. Now the time for discussion is over, time for action has come, wherein we want the JPC, that is parliamentary probe or the judicial probe.
Parliamentary democracy is suppressed in the House.
That was the opposition news briefing that just concluded. And Shravan, I want to come back to you on this because while the position of the government so far is clear that it is one company and they want business in the House, they will not discuss one company and spend time over it because there are other serious issues that need to be looked into. However, the opposition is adamant. They are very, very clear in their stance that they want to discuss the Adani controversy. They want to debate on it, and so much so that it doesn't end there. They want a detailed investigation into this entire matter. They are saying that the government is hand in glove with the Adani group, and these are the allegations that they are levelling against the centre. They are also saying that a joint parliamentary committee must be formed to look into these allegations that are being levelled by Hindenburg.
I did miss your question, but just going by what's transpired in the last couple of hours since morning, because remember, it does appear that Adani's stocks have basically nosedived. It's costing about $120 billion. Now, let's talk about one by one, starting with the Adani Enterprises. Essentially, what has happened is that we are looking, yesterday it was about a 28% plunge. We are looking at roughly about 19% plunge in Adani Enterprises stock prices. Importantly, there is a trend that has basically appeared, and that trend essentially starts from the time Hindenburg researchers' paper, 100-page report, had made those sensational allegations against the Adani group. The very fact that they called that this is the largest con in the history of corporate India, and then going on to indicate that there has been brazen stock manipulation. They have basically qualified this by saying that several of the executives of Adani group have links with what they called seedy criminals. That's the allegation that was leveled against the Adani group. In response, if you see, the Adani group essentially called this an attack on India. If you really look at the 413-page report or a rebuttal that was issued by the Adani group, it really does not give any clarity with regards to the essential complaint or the essential allegation of stock manipulation and the usage of tax havens, because you have a certain nondescript groups that have been associated with the Adani group, and they believe that they suspect rather that there has been some diversion of certain funds. So there has been a growing chorus right now that whether at all the Adani group is going to come clean on this entire matter. What has also caused, or rung the alarm bells, that is essentially the fact that you have the LIC, coming in rescue for the Adani group. why exactly so? That is the bigger question that even the opposition parties are raising at this point in time. Also, you have the State Bank of India coming across as a huge beneficiary of in terms of for the Adani Group. SBI, on the other hand, has already made it very clear that this is on the basis of the prices of the stocks of the Adani Group, and more importantly, the assets of Adani Group, which many within the market also still believe that these are solid assets. The recent acquisition as far as Ambuja Cements is concerned, one of the largest cement manufacturing unit. Now, what's important to point out here is that there has been a variation, diversification in the Adani Group, starting all the way from agriculture to shipping, you name it, and you would have the Adani Group's hands in it. Also, the fact is that
I quickly want you to reflect on the breaking details that we are just flashing on our screens right now, because the fight is really escalating from both ends. Advocate Manohar Lal Sharma, who's filed a petition in the top court, has sought an inquiry against Hindenburg founder Nate Anderson for allegedly exploiting innocent investors. He has said that short sellers have conspired, and this is the petition that has been filed in the top court over short sellers. This, as we understand, that Hindenburg, that is headed by Nate Anderson, have admitted to short selling, but this is the petition that has been filed in the top court saying that short sellers have conspired. Shravan, where do you see this going? And as I try and get details from you, I believe Rhythm is also with us on the phone line to reflect on what is happening in the top court on this matter. Over to you, Rhythm.
So a petition is filed by a lawyer in the Supreme Court. They are praying that Nate Anderson, founder of Heidelberg Research, and his Indian entities hatched a criminal conspiracy, and this needs to be probed. He's saying, in fact, that short sellers, that is Anderson, resident of United States of America, his Indian entities, hatched a criminal conspiracy, did short sale in hundreds of billions of dollars prior to and thereafter on Jan 25th, 2023. They released a concocted news as research report qua the Adani group of companies got crash share market and squared up their short sell position at the lowest rate. The plea is therefore saying that an inquiry needs to be done on Hindenburg founder Nate Anderson for allegedly exploiting innocent investors. This plea was mentioned, it's not been mentioned yet, it's just a petition that he's written out as of now. So we really have to see whether the court is going to take cognizance. The prayers are very clear. They want an inquiry to be there, an FIR to be there against Anderson and his associates in India for exploiting innocent investors via short selling under the garb of artificial crashing via short selling coupled with further discussions. After this, he's basically saying that there needs to be a probe, and therefore this petition that has just been filed in the top court, we have to see whether this will be heard in the top court.
Well, Rhythm, I'll just request you to stay on with us. Swapnil Kothari is also joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Kothari, as far as the role of Hindenburg Research is concerned, this is not the first time when such papers or what they call investigative reports have been published by them. If you look at their history, you would look at certain bigger companies in the United States that have also come under the scan of the Hindenburg Research. But at the end of the day, the short seller here makes a massive amount of money by making these reports, which once again, if you really take a closer look, looking at the finer print of that report, you would still not be able to identify how exactly are they coming to that kind of a conclusion. They say it's a product of a 2-year investigation, but they do not make any specific mention with regards to the tax havens that they are referring to, or for that matter, the companies that they are alleging have a direct link with the Adani Group, which they call have a criminal track record.
Shravan, this petition, when I read it, your guest team is kind enough to send it to me. It's a very sketchy petition. It's a very sketchy PIL. Writs of mandamuses are not issued just like that on the basis of these sketchy facts. The report may have some validity. There must be a certain amount of truth to short-selling ideas. Now, obviously, SEBI as an institutional body needs to take care of that, because that supersedes, or rather oversees, all of these things that are going on in the corporate world. I'm not going to go into the details of the corporate stuff, because that may confuse your audience and the people who are listening. But the short point is that any financial irregularity, anything which is out of the book, anything which does not meet the SEBI disclosure requirements, listing requirements, the SEBI Act, the provisions of the SEBI Act, that is something which the SEBI, as the SEC in the United States, which is the Securities Exchange Commission, the same way the Securities and Exchange Board of India is supposed to look out for here. Given the position of the petition and given the way the facts are presented, I am very almost certain that the Supreme Court will dismiss this PIL and say that these do not warrant any action on our part unless you come out with more specifics. Why did Adani withdraw his FPO? Was it pursuant to all of these allegations which you think that you're making in this petition? Please draw a comparison. Please come out with detailed facts. If there is some sort of a public interest litigation, first of all, you need to have some locus standi. If you do not have a locus standi, that means you personally have not been impoverished or cheated on. Then in a PIL, you need to have at least some measure of public importance which you point out to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court will then involve its judicial time into looking into these things. Given the way the petition is drafted, given the way the facts are there, you need to come out with more aligning the report, aligning and showing a proper conspiracy, because if you are saying 420, section 420 IPC, that is cheating, 120B criminal conspiracy because that's meeting of more than one mind, then you have to exactly show as to how all of these things have taken place and whether or not, even why only SEBI, whether or not NIA needs to get involved, whether there is a bigger conspiracy, whether there is an international ramification behind it, anything of that sort. So unless and until you come out with something very focused and very laser guided and very factual in detail, only then I will be able to, we as the Supreme Court will be able to come out with, a decision or some sort of an investigation that we can launch or put up an SIT. Otherwise, Shravan, this does not meet, to me, the requirements or material facts are not there for us, or that means for the Supreme Court to get into it or to step into it. It sounds very sketchy to me and very skeletal. Let's put it that way.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kothari, for putting this into perspective. But just before I let you go, just a quick query that I want to take from you. That is, would you then say that it is for the SEBI to act? It isn't really appropriate at this point in time for the apex court to really step in. If you really look at the procedures in place, then it is for the SEBI to step in and not for any other institution to come in at this point in time.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. The SEBI needs to come in first before even the Supreme Court comes in. But it seems to me that the petitioner seems to be aggrieved by the stance of SEBI, which seems to be very somnolent and very comatose at this point in time. And that's the reason why this gentleman has approached the judiciary. But it's not going to cut ice with the judiciary, because before the judiciary, you need to put out more facts. You need to say that this was ignored by SEBI, and that is the reason why I've come out with a writ of mandamus. And writ of mandamus is generally issued when and only when there is a duty that was supposed to be performed and which is not performed. That is the time that you issue a writ of mandamus. So you have to show that it was a duty of SEBI. You establish those facts. You say that this is what falls within the parameters of the SEBI Act. This is what falls within the parameters of the SEBI jurisdiction or the umbra of SEBI, and which SEBI was supposed to act and has not acted, and that is why it has to come from the apex court. Otherwise, it's a waste of judicial time, in my opinion. The Supreme Court will not step in.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kothari, for putting this into perspective. Remains to be seen how exactly this also pans out in the parliament as the budget session is also underway. We've already seen the opposition parties training their guns at the centre. In fact, when the Power Minister spoke to Republic TV yesterday, he made it abundantly clear that the government has nothing to do on this entire matter. It is for other institutions to look into it, and it is with the dealings of a private company which has no links with the government. That's what the centre has to say at this point in time. But will that really satisfy the opposition parties, because they say it is time for a joint parliamentary committee to look into the allegations that have been levelled by the Hindenburg research?
Absolutely, Shravan. And like you said, that taking the legal route at this point, when the financial regulator of the country has still not actually put out its side of the story of these allegations that have been levelled against the Adani group. But let's also understand that the opposition continues to build pressure, saying that the government is hand in glove with that group. Let's listen into those statements that have come in.
I may ask Mr. Palla Joshi ji, what is the harm of demanding the constitution of JPC, because the scam, I think simply it's a scam, and it has assumed a very greater dimension. It has already assumed. So in view of the people's concern and the apprehensions which we are observing, that the entire stock market has been reeling under total uncertainties and tumblings also, where common investors, I mean people's hard-earned money are involved.
देखिए, हम क्यों चिंतित हैं? हम ये बार बार मुद्दा क्यों उठा रहे हैं? हमारे नेता प्रतिपक्ष क्यों उठा रहे हैं? हमारी राजनीतिक पार्टियां क्यों उठा रहे हैं? क्योंकि यहाँ 78,000 करोड़ रुपया LIC का अडानी में इन्वेस्ट किया गया है। SBI म्यूचुअल फंड है, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक है, पेंशन फंड है, करोड़ों रुपया मध्य वर्ग के लोगों का, करोड़ों भारतवासियों का की बचत इस कंपनियों में लगे हुए हैं, जिसका मार्केट वैल्यू घटा है पिछले 5-6 दिनों में। तो जाहिर है, इसीलिए तो हमने मांग कर रहे हैं कि JPC का हो। देखिए, ये निजी मामला नहीं है, ये सिर्फ एक निजी कंपनी और किसी विदेशी कंपनी के बीच में नहीं है। ये अभी करोड़ों भारतवासियों का मामला है, क्योंकि LIC के माध्यम से, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया म्यूचुअल फंड के माध्यम से, पेंशन फंड के माध्यम से हजारों करोड़ रुपया इसमें लगा हुआ है और इन कंपनियों में लगा हुआ है, जिसका मूल्य घटा जा रहा है। तो इसीलिए हम मांग कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट है। ये हमें हिंडनबर्ग से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। हमारा यही एक ही कहना है कि LIC, SBI म्यूचुअल फंड पर आपने दबाव डाला और उनको प्रेशराइज करके उनको इन्वेस्ट कराया गया अडानी के कंपनियों में। तो यही, इस पर जांच होनी चाहिए। फोन बैंकिंग प्रधानमंत्री कहते थे UPA के समय में फोन बैंकिंग होता है। अभी तो ये तो मोबाइल बैंकिंग हो गया ना, ये भी तो एक फोन बैंकिंग है। तो इससे प्रधानमंत्री इसमें बिल्कुल जुड़े हुए हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप देखें 2014 के बाद जिस तरीके से अडानी कंपनी को कितना फायदा हुआ है, पोर्ट, एयरपोर्ट, गैस, पावर, कोई भी लीजिए, किसी भी क्षेत्र में देखिए, अडानी कंपनी का एक मोनोपोली बन रहा है। और
BSF troops has foiled another bid of Pakistan for smuggling the drugs into the Indian territory, and this time a drone was shot down by the BSF troops nearby the international border in Amritsar, and in fact that drone was carrying a packet of the heroin that also been recovered by the BSF troops during the search. And even this happened in the intervening night when the BSF troops have spotted a drone sortie into the Indian airspace, and in fact they opened the fire, and finally the Pakistani drone in fact was shot down by the BSF troops and also recovered a packet of the heroin. And further investigation is on, just because the BSF is now dragging their investigation to break the chain of the drug smugglers residing at the Indian territory, and even in a continuous touch with the Pak drug smugglers, and even they are trying to break the chain of this entire nexus of cross-border drug smuggling. But another bid has been foiled. A Pakistani drone has been shot down by the BSF, and this time at Amritsar International Border.
Time now for a short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details as Finance Minister briefed BJP MPs from both houses ahead of BJP's budget outreach program.
Everything we know might well be at risk. The time to act is now. We must all be champions for sustainability, for the earth.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Beginning from 9th February 2023,
India will host a bilateral service of the Australia Tour of India 2023. India vs Australia ODI. The first test match between India and Australia will take place in Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur city. The only tour game, according to Smith, in their previous tour was played on a green top, which did not help the squad prepare for the kind of pitches they went on to face. The last test series won by Australian team in India was nearly 20 years ago. Both teams will be playing 4 test matches in Nagpur, Delhi, Dharamshala and Ahmedabad for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As the much-awaited 4-match Border Gavaskar Trophy starts on 9th, all eyes are back on the pitch. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million-year-old Shaligram stones brought straight from Nepal to Ayodhya. Hundreds of devotees gathered in Ayodhya to have a glimpse.
ये जो नेपाल से शालिग्राम आई है शिला, ये मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जब भविष्य में मंदिर बनेगा तो मैं फिर से दर्शन करने आऊँगी।
ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम लोगों के लिए। मैंने जिंदगी में एक आदमी जो अपनी सबसे बड़ी खुशी पाता है वो हम लोगों के लिए सबसे बड़ी खुशी है। हम लोगों ने तुरंत प्रोग्राम बनाया कि हम लोग चलना चाहिए अयोध्या। तो हमारी पूरी टीम के साथ हम लोग बेंगलोर से अयोध्या आए हैं शालिग्राम जी के दर्शन करने, और बहुत बड़ी खुशी की बात है। हमारी जिंदगी का सबसे बड़ा जो मकसद था वो पूरा होता हुआ देख रहा हूँ मैं।
Priests and devotees decorated Shaligram with garlands and offered their prayers. Shaligram stone holds a very special place in Hindu faith as it is a representation of Lord Vishnu. The Shaligram will now be handed over to Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust and will be used in the making of Ram and Janki idols. What makes Shaligram even more special is that it's found only on the river banks of Kali Gandaki river.
40 ton has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki, which are expected to be placed in main temple.
आज केवल कोई बजट अपनी सत्ता में आने के लिए नहीं, हम भारत को आगे बढ़ाने की सोच के साथ चलते हैं।
आज जब बजट प्रस्तुत किया वित्त मंत्री जी ने, तो उन्होंने जीवन के नागरिक के हर आयाम को छुआ।
It is a very inclusive budget, a very wholesome budget. It addresses the aspirations of every section of society.
देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को लंबे अरसे तक बल देने वाला एक फाउंडेशन क्रिएट करने वाला बजट आज माननीय निर्मला जी ने पेश किया है।
Well, it is a transformational budget. There's no question about that. In many ways, an inclusive growth budget.
Perfect budget. Biggest voices. Biggest newsmakers on Republic TV.
Hello and welcome viewers. Thank you for tuning into Republic TV. I am Priyanka Sharma. We are live in breaking and straight away getting you all the updates of what's happening with our neighboring country Pakistan and how really the Afghanistan, in fact the Taliban acting foreign minister in fact has called out Pakistan and Amir Muttaqi, who is Taliban's acting foreign minister, has called on Pakistan to investigate the Peshawar attack rather than blame the neighboring Afghanistan for the terror carnage. He has said, and I quote, "Don't blame others for your own failures." And this was something that was said by Taliban's acting foreign minister, Amir Muttaqi. And on January 30th, a suicide bombing at a mosque in Peshawar police lines area claimed the lives of at least 101 people. And most of them, unfortunately, were police officials as well. And Muttaqi called on Pakistan to investigate the Peshawar attack instead of blaming Kabul and said that Afghanistan is not a safe haven for terrorists as well. So an embarrassing situation also there for Pakistan as Taliban's acting foreign minister Amir Muttaqi has called on Pakistan in fact, and he has also stated that the Pakistan authorities need to investigate the Peshawar attack and not just mindlessly point their fingers at Afghanistan as well. And they have also stated that don't blame others for your own failures is something that Taliban has said to Pakistan as well. And of course, this is important to note that these war of words has broken out following the suicide bombing that had taken place at a mosque, and this has happened on January the 30th. at the Peshawar police lines area. This has also unfortunately claimed the lives of at least 101 people. And most of them had been police officials. And now following that suicide bombing, we are seeing these kind of war of words that has now broken out between the Taliban acting foreign minister Amin Muttaqi, who has now called on Pakistan and has asked them to investigate into the Peshawar attack. And of course, we have been tracking the developments that have taken place since this suicide bombing that had taken place at a mosque there in the Peshawar police lines area. And this was a suicide bombing that had taken place on 30th of January. And we had also seen the kind of statements that had come to light from the Pakistan authorities as well. And now to which, as a response to that, the Taliban acting foreign minister, this is the latest update that we are getting for you, that the Taliban acting foreign minister Amin Muttaqi had called on Pakistan, has in fact called on Pakistan to investigate into the Peshawar attack and not just blame Afghanistan for their failures as well. And they have also stated that Afghanistan in fact is not a safe haven for terrorists. And of course, this is a big development that we are tracking as far as the kind of war of words that have broken out over the suicide bombing that took place on January 30th. It's also important to get in experts as well. And I'm being joined by Major General Sanjay Soi on the broadcast for the same as well. Major General Sanjay Soi, if I could come to you over this kind of war of words that has broken out. And of course, now the Afghanistan acting foreign minister has called out to Pakistan, has stated that Pakistan needs to go out and introspect and investigate into this Peshawar attack and not just point their fingers to Afghanistan. What are your first thoughts and the kind of takeaways that you can expand upon for our viewers here?
In fact, there are a couple of things. One is that this war of words, or rather I would say relations between Afghanistan and Pakistan have not been very good since Taliban has come to power. In fact, Pakistan thought that now Taliban has come to power, they celebrated, they thought that now Afghanistan will be their friend and they'll be able to control their policies, they'll be able to direct, they'll be able to monitor their things. But unfortunately, Taliban has its own say, and the TTP, which had taken the responsibility of attack on the mosque, which was very unfortunate, and they have been getting shelter. Their leaders have been living there in Afghanistan. So Taliban on the for the world or for the people, they keep saying that their country will not be used for the militant attack. Their country will not be used for the to support militancy. But on the contrary, everybody knows that TTP has been getting support. They have been getting shelter. Their leaders have been going there and coming back and attacking Pakistan. And yes, of course, when Afghanistan says that Pakistan needs to introspect, they are also right in a way that what Pakistan themselves is responsible for the situation in which they have found themselves today. They have been supporting militancy. Now the militancy is like a snake. You feed a snake, it will bite you. Same thing has happened with them. They have been supporting militancy against India. They have been supporting militancy. They were supporting Taliban at some point of time when they were fighting against Russians. And since they have grown too big and Pakistan with its poor economic conditions, the restlessness in the country is not in a condition to control the TTP or control the attack. And since November, since the ceasefire has broken down between TTP and Pakistan, the number of attacks have increased. And Pakistan is facing the...
You know, of course, that being said, Major General, who really is Afghanistan to give this kind of an advice? But also, of course, it is true that Pakistan has been known notoriously for being a safe haven for terrorists as well. I want to thank you for joining us and sharing your perspective on this big story that is developing. But for the moment, viewers, we're cutting across to some more breaking updates that we are picking up. This time, of course, with respect to Sudeep, who has now met DKS, in fact, because he wants the PVR opened in the Lulu Mall. And Sudeep has, in fact, completed 27 years in the film industry. That is the breaking update that, of course, we are putting across on your screens right now. These are the first images of that meeting that took place between DK Shivakumar and Sudeep as well. And of course, this we are learning that this meeting had taken place in reference to Sudeep wanting the PVR opened in the Lulu Mall, and he has in fact also completed 27 years in the film industry, over which this meeting in fact had also taken place between Sudeep and DK Shivakumar. And of course, we are getting to you the first images of this meeting that had taken place, and we are getting you more details of what really was discussed in this meeting as well. In fact, we are hearing how DK Shivakumar had met with the actor Kicha Sudeep, and Shivakumar had met with this actor. Of course, the timeline of this meeting, of course, is also something to be noted as well. Let me also bring in my colleague Niranjan from the Mumbai newsroom. Niranjan, it's over to you. Please tell us more about this meeting that has taken place. What really had been discussed in this meeting? What had it been on the agenda for a while? And the timeline of this meeting as well. Please tell our viewers about the importance of this.
Well, on record, they'll tell you that it's just a courtesy meeting because he's completed 27 years, etc. He wants a PVR open in a mall, etc. Now, these are the things that they're saying on record, but it is a known fact that sometimes on some issues, actors mirror political parties, and could that have been the case? Not sure. It's just
all right, Niranjan, sorry to cut you short, but we are cutting across to some more breaking updates that we are picking up. This time in reference to the BBC controversy, in fact, and the kind of case that was going on in the Apex Court. And now we are putting across a breaking update that the Supreme Court has sent notice to the centre over the BBC controversy. And we are putting across more details of what's really transpired inside of the courtroom in the Apex Court as well. And we have now seen the updates coming in from the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court in fact has now issued a notice to the central government and has sought answer from the central government, and to file this reply, in fact, the central government has been given 3 weeks by the Apex Court. And of course, we are learning some more details coming in from the Supreme Court itself, where they have directed the centre to file the reply in 3 weeks, and the matter, we're being told, is next going to be heard in April. And we had, of course, seen the hearing that had gone on inside of the courtroom in the Apex Court today. And we had seen that the bench of Justice Sanjeev Khanna and Justice M.M. Sundaresh, in fact, were conducting the hearing as well. And now, post that hearing, we are getting some more important details that the Supreme Court, in fact, has issued this notice to the central government. And we are learning, of course, that the central government has been given 3 weeks to file their reply in this matter as well. And of course, the matter, now we're being told, is going to be heard next in April as well. We will be getting you some more details of the kind of arguments that have really transpired in the courtroom, and of course, what it really means of this order that has now been given, and this notice that has now been issued to the central government as well. All right, so of course, we are getting some more updates as far as these hearings are concerned. Let me once again bring in my colleague Niranjan from the Mumbai newsroom. Niranjan, it's over to you. Please decode what had happened in the Apex Court today when the hearing had gone on in the Supreme Court. And of course, the order that has been given, the notice that has been given to the central government, 3 weeks that have been given to the central government to file a reply in the court as well.
Well, yes, this is the breaking news update now coming in that the Supreme Court hearing the case that challenged the ban on the documentary has asked the centre to respond within 3 weeks. So as a matter of procedure, the Supreme Court asked the centre to respond. The petition was filed by, of course, the NRAM of the Hindu group, Prashant Bhushan, one of the petitioners, And I think, if I'm not wrong, the Trinamool Congress MP Mahoma Moitra also part of this entire petition, asking why the documentary was banned, challenging the ban on the documentary. The centre has been asked to respond. So they've been given 3 weeks of time. So that's where the story stands. 3 weeks time given, and Supreme Court has asked the centre to file a reply within 3 weeks of time. So that's the breaking news update coming in. I'm handing it back to you for now. And
well, that being said, yeah.
Yes.
That being said, Niranjan, if I could come across to you for just one more question, because we had been talking about how, this hearing had been going on. And of course, we had seen earlier as well, source-based information coming out that the government had received this intel from agencies that this might create a law and order situation if this documentary in fact is aired as well. So how will that also figure in this hearing? Is that something that will be a part of the reply of the central government? Can we expect that to be so?
Well, the hearing has taken place already, and the fact that the centre has, as a matter of procedure, has asked the government to respond within 3 weeks. The matter will be heard now in April. So centre has to respond in 3 weeks. Matter will be heard in April. But you're right on the fact on the fact that there were some reports that there was intel. Also on such a docu-series causing a law and order situation. Those details came out earlier because, even parliamentarians claim that this is part of a propaganda by the BBC, which has been taking money from the Chinese, for example, and is very close to the Chinese establishment, investing in China. And some of these allegations have been made by people like Mahesh Jethmalani as well, who spoke this morning. And we're just going to play that soundbite out right now. In fact, if you can do that, Priyanka, because even this morning, Mahesh Jethmalani said that this is an issue that should be looked at very closely, given that
absolutely
the Chinese and the BBC are almost like friends.
Absolutely. Niranjan, let's play out that soundbite of Mahesh Jethmalani, and we'll be back with you for some more breaking updates on the story.
This is showing that the BBC is completely financially interlocked with China, with the Chinese state, through Chinese state-owned companies like Huawei and all that. But the idea is that, to show that the documentary, basically, is no more than a Chinese-inspired initiative. This is showing that the BBC is completely financially interlocked with China, with the Chinese state, through Chinese state-owned companies like Huawei and all that. But the idea is that, to show that the documentary, basically, is no more than a Chinese-inspired initiative.
A major fire broke out at the under construction, newly being built Secretariat here in Hyderabad, which is all set to be inaugurated on the 17th of February by the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. But now we see that in the VRs, we see that there was a fire which broke out. Well, the reason behind the fire incident is not yet known, and also after the fire incident, almost more than 10 fire tenders rushed to the spot to make sure that no untoward situation takes place. And also at the same time, sources say that the reason behind the fire accident is not yet known, and also no casualties have been reported. However, we are seeing that this is an under construction secretariat which is being built at the cost of almost 600 crore rupees by the Telangana government, and which will be inaugurated by the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao along with other leaders who will be inaugurating it on the 17th of September. But just the days before the inauguration, a massive fire broke out at the under construction Secretariat building here in Hyderabad. This is Anirisha with Judicial listeners for Republic TV.
Time now here for a short break, viewers. Coming up on the other side, the Hindenburg report fallout. Adani Enterprises share continued to tank after the FPO called off. We'll decode all of these updates after a short break.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million-year-old Shaligram stones brought straight from Nepal to Ayodhya. Hundreds of devotees gathered in Ayodhya to have a glimpse.
ये जो नेपाल से शालिग्राम आई है शिला, ये मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जब भविष्य में मंदिर बनेगा तो मैं फिर से दर्शन करने आऊँगी।
ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम लोगों के लिए। मैंने जिंदगी में एक आदमी जो अपनी सबसे बड़ी खुशी पाता है वो हम लोगों के लिए सबसे बड़ी खुशी है। हम लोगों ने तुरंत प्रोग्राम बनाया कि हम लोग चलना चाहिए अयोध्या। तो हमारी पूरी टीम के साथ हम लोग बेंगलुरु से अयोध्या आए हैं शालिग्राम जी के दर्शन करने, और बहुत बड़ी खुशी की बात है। हमारी ज़िंदगी का सबसे बड़ा जो मकसद था वो पूरा होता हुआ देख रहा हूँ मैं।
Priests and devotees decorated Shaligram with garlands and offered their prayers. Shaligram stone holds a very special place in Hindu faith as it is a representation of Lord Vishnu. The Shaligram will now be handed over to Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust and will be used in the making of Ram and Janki idols. What makes Shaligram even more special is that it's found only on the river banks of Kali Gandaki river.
40 ton has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Shri Ram and Janki, which are expected to be placed in main temple of Ram Mandir. The Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Weighing 23 tons and 14 tons, both the boulders were brought to Ayodhya on heavy-duty trucks from Nepal's Janakpur, the birthplace of goddess Sita. Nepal Congress leader and former Deputy Prime Minister Bimalendra Nidhi, who hails from Janakpur, coordinated with the Janki temple to send the Shaligrams from Kali Gandaki river to Ayodhya. The Nepal leader said that the Janki temple would later send a bow to Ram temple in Ayodhya. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Beginning from 9th February 2023, India will host a bilateral service of the Australia Tour of India 2023. India versus Australia ODI, the first test match between India and Australia, will take place in Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur city. The only tour game, according to Smith, in their previous tour was played on a green top, which did not help the squad prepare for the kind of pitches they went on to face. The last test series won by Australian team in India was nearly 20 years ago. Both teams will be playing 4 test matches in Nagpur, Delhi, Dharamshala and Ahmedabad for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As the much-awaited 4-match Border Gavaskar Trophy starts on 9th, all eyes are back on the pitch. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million.
Welcome back, viewers. Coming across now to some breaking updates. This one coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where we are learning that the Central Bureau of Investigation is in fact carrying out searches at 37 locations in connection with the Jammu and Kashmir paper leak case. And this time we are learning that it is linked to the Finance Department and Jammu and Kashmir Forest Department, IAF personnel, CRPF personnel, and in fact, those are the ones under the scanner as well. This again, of course, is the FAA paper leak that we had been tracking for you, the Financial Accounts Assistance paper leak that is being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and they are in fact conducting raids today itself in 37 locations in 6 districts of Jammu region as well. Back-to-back breaking updates. This one coming in from Jammu. We are getting in visuals from Jammu's Doda, where major cracks have been seen in the houses and structures. At least 15 houses have been vacated in the Thatri area, and the cracks were noticeable as well. Now, reports suggest that the cracks have been increasing and the land is sinking on a daily basis, and the cracks were reported first in a house in December in the Doda district itself. Till yesterday, 6 buildings had cracks, but now these cracks have started to increase is what we are getting the ground report as. And this area is gradually sinking is what we are understanding, and we are also putting out those visuals from the Doda area of Jammu as well, and the government is trying to find a solution as soon as possible is what we are learning. This is of course from the district magistrate of Doda. But concerning visuals there coming to light from Doda, let me also bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's been on the ground reporting on this story. Gursimran, is this another Joshimath situation that we have on our hands there in Doda? What has been the reasons that have been given about these kind of cracks? Are these particular areas, pockets of these areas also sinking? What can you explain to our viewers about Doda and what's really happening there?
See, the scale, the magnitude of the area is not as Joshimath, but yes, 15 families have been affected, and this is in the Naim Basti area, that is in the Thatri of Doda district, wherein the land has started sinking, and the houses there, 15 houses have developed cracked, after which the district administration has decided that the locals will be moved out of the area. Now the locals have already been moved out to the nearby facility, and they have been asked not to go to their houses. But what we are getting to know that in a day or two these cracks will develop more, and 4 to 5 houses out of these 15, they will collapse in the coming days. The situation is really very concerning because the way the landslides are hitting and also the way the land is sinking is a major concern for the entire Chenab Valley, because this area and the way the land and the Jammu and Kashmir has been prone to the earthquake when it comes to the seismic zone 5. That is also a threat that is pertaining, and with this happening, it is adding to the concerns of the local as well as the authorities. Yes, Priyanka.
Well, of course, concerning visuals there that you're showing us, Gursimran, and of course, we will have to wait and watch whether the authorities, just like Joshimath, they will be carrying out any kind of evacuation drills there or not. For the moment, thank you, Gursimran, for joining here on the broadcast and sharing those details with us. For the moment, we're slipping into a very short break. And on the other side, we bring you updates of the Hindenburg report fallout, how the Adani Enterprises share continue to tank after the FPO called off. Decoding this news after a very short break.
Beginning from 9th February 2023, India will host a bilateral service of the Australia Tour of India 2023. India versus Australia ODI. The first test match between India and Australia will take place in Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur city. The only tour game, according to Smith, in their previous tour was played on a green top, which did not help the squad prepare for the kind of pitches they went on to face. The last test series won by Australian team in India was nearly 20 years ago. Both teams will be playing 4 test matches in Nagpur, Delhi, Dharamshala and Ahmedabad for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As the much-awaited 4-match Border Gavaskar Trophy starts on 9th, all eyes are back on the pitch. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million-year-old Shaligram stones brought straight from Nepal to Ayodhya. Hundreds of devotees gathered in Ayodhya to have a glimpse.
ये जो नेपाल से शालिग्राम आई है शिला, ये मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जब भविष्य में मंदिर बनेगा तो मैं फिर से दर्शन करने आऊँगी।
ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम लोगों के लिए। मैंने जिंदगी में एक आदमी जो अपनी सबसे बड़ी खुशी पाता है वो हम लोगों के लिए सबसे बड़ी खुशी है। हम लोगों ने तुरंत प्रोग्राम बनाया कि हम लोग चलना चाहिए अयोध्या। तो हमारी पूरी टीम के साथ हम लोग बेंगलोर से अयोध्या आए हैं शालिग्राम जी के दर्शन करने, और बहुत बड़ी खुशी की बात है। हमारी जिंदगी का सबसे बड़ा जो मकसद था वो पूरा होता हुआ देख रहा हूँ मैं।
Priests and devotees decorated Shaligram with garlands and offered their prayers. Shaligram stone holds a very special place in Hindu faith as it is a representation of Lord Vishnu. The Shaligram will now be handed over to Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust and will be used in the making of Ram and Janki idols. What makes Shaligram even more special is that it's found only on the river banks of Kali Gandaki river.
40 ton has been handed over by Nepal on 29th of January for the construction of idols of Sri Ram and Janki. which are expected to be placed in main temple of Ram Mandir, the Shila has finally reached today to the land of Lord Rama, Ayodhya.
Weighing 23 tons and 14 tons, both the boulders were brought to Ayodhya on heavy-duty trucks from Nepal's Janakpur, the birthplace of goddess Sita. Nepal Congress leader and former Deputy Prime Minister Bimalendra Nidhi, who hails from Janakpur, coordinated with the Janki temple to send the Shaligrams from Kali Gandaki river to Ayodhya. The Nepal leader said that the Janki temple would later send a bow to Ram temple in Ayodhya. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Beginning from 9th February 2023, India will host a bilateral service of the Australia Tour of India 2023. India versus Australia ODI, the first test.
Welcome back, viewers. Some more breaking updates that we're putting out on your screens from the Apex Court this time. The Apex Court that is in fact hearing the petitions concerning the delay by the central government in clearing the names as High Court and Supreme Court judges after being cleared by the Supreme Court. Now, the centre has assured the Apex Court that the Collegium's recommendation for the appointment of the 5 judges in Supreme Court will be cleared soon. Now, of course, we have been seeing the kind of minor friction between the Supreme Court and now we see that the central government as well, where we are seeing that the hearing that had taken place in the Apex Court concerning the delay by the central government is clearing names as High Court and Supreme Court judges after being cleared by the Supreme Court. Slowing into a very short break here now, viewers, getting you updates on the other side of the Finance Minister briefing the BJP MPs from both the houses ahead of the BJP's budget outreach programs.
The huge boulders that you see on your screen are the million-year-old Shaligram stones brought straight from Nepal to Ayodhya. Hundreds of devotees gathered in Ayodhya to have a glimpse.
ये जो नेपाल से शालिग्राम आई है शिला, ये मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जब भविष्य में मंदिर बनेगा तो मैं फिर से दर्शन करने आऊँगी।
ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम लोगों के लिए। मैंने जिंदगी में एक आदमी जो अपनी सबसे बड़ी खुशी पाता है वो हम लोगों के लिए सबसे बड़ी खुशी है। हम लोगों ने तुरंत प्रोग्राम बनाया कि हम लोग चलना चाहिए अयोध्या, तो हमारी पूरी